I'm live right now. Hoity-toity, hoity-toity. Just thought I'd go live, talk about some of these stories I'm seeing. Hearing that Daniel Dubois has jumped ahead in the WBO's rank standings. He's now ahead of Joseph Parker, which means if Anthony Joshua were to hypothetically vacate the WBO title, the title would be contested between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. It's a good fight. It's not a fight I think that Daniel's ready for. But by all means, go ahead, Frank. Move your pieces on the board as you see fit. If beating that Snyder guy or Snidger or whatever, he had a J in front of the, I think he had, what was it? It was a J after the N. Schnitter, Schneezer, Svitzer, Snyder. If beating that guy moves you up the ranks, go ahead. I don't think Daniel's ready for Usyk, but and the other thing you got to think about that situation is that if the fight got ordered, Eddie's gonna push for a purse bid, and if he pushes for a purse bid, is Queensberry Promotions gonna beat Matchroom in a purse bid? Nah, dog. Nah, dog. I don't think so. I think that Zaniel would have to cross the street. I think he would. And I don't think that Frank wants that. You think Frank wants to send his boy Daniel to be content over there on Sky Sports? That's why I didn't want to do a video about that. I didn't want to take the time to edit that and put it together and all of that, because to me it's a non-issue. That I don't think materializes into anything because, one, Joshua would have to vacate the WBO title, and I'm not convinced that he will. It's possible. Anything is possible, but I don't know how likely that is. And two, if he vacated, in all likelihood, Eddie Hearn would push for a purse bid, and that doesn't bode well for Fish Eyes. That doesn't bode well for Frank. Like, why would you think Frank want to go to purse bid with Eddie? Why? So Daniel could end up going to Matchroom? I'm like, yo, why everybody bugging off of that? Ain't nothing gonna happen. Nothing gonna happen, bro. How many title shots did they offer Anthony Yard before he finally decided to fight Kovalev? Do you realize that he had Kovalev offered him, I think, 2 shots before that, and I think they offered him, I believe, fact check me if I'm wrong, but didn't they offer him a better beef fight too? Bruh. Yeah, they're talking about Dubois Usyk, Doc, but they're talking about it because Daniel made a leap in the rank standings. He's now number 2, and Usyk is number 1. So hypothetically, if Joshua were to vacate, the title would be contested between the number 1 and number 2 guys. Right now, that's Usyk and Dubois, but ain't nothing gonna come of that, man. Come on now. You think Frank gonna send his golden boy, his golden child over there so he get poked up and punched in his face by Usyk? Yeah, Usyk little, but I think he could win that fight. I think he can. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anatoly apparently agreed to train Usyk in all of the heavyweight title matches. The way Usyk beat Murat, I don't see anyone beating with a similar reach unless the big boys. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Danilo. I agree with you. Anyone who has a height advantage, a reach advantage, is someone who could pose considerable problems for Usyk, because then that means he would have to step into within striking distance in order to land any shots. And we saw what happened to Dillian, dog. You could be winning a goddamn fight, and just like that, it's a wrap.
What's up, Joe? What's up?
Who do you like for the fight? Dangerous?
Come on. I'll say it right now. Usyk will slap that kid around.
Yes, he would.
He's too green. I look. I no problem acknowledge Dubois got a lot of potential, got a lot of, natural gifts, right? I mean, we both agree on that, yeah?
No, yeah, I mean, definitely. It's just that, bro,
He's not ready. He ain't ready for no Usyk, bro.
Like, bro, like even though he'd be the bigger guy, and maybe he has the bigger punch. Maybe.
It's heavyweight boxing. It's heavyweight boxing. Like you were just referring. Anything can happen. That's
anything.
One of the reasons. That's the reason it's the king of the king division, right? As heavyweights go, so goes the sport, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? So, sure, there's that, but odds are he's gonna get slapped around and embarrassed. That's just my opinion.
I think it would resemble the Joyce beating. Do you remember the Joyce beating?
Yeah. Although I gotta give, I've always said I give Joyce credit. Joyce could have easily just folded up and quit in that fight, and he didn't.
But think about it this way. That was a younger Joyce, a fresher Joyce, I would say comparatively. I'm not saying that Joe isn't fresh, but that was 1 or 2 years ago, maybe 3, the World Series of Boxing. That was a couple of years ago. And Joe was just getting slapped around. Joe comes from a better amateur pedigree than Daniel. Daniel doesn't have that pedigree, bro. So,
dude, he's been having WWF squash matches where the fat guy with the mullet's already in the ring.
Yeah. So I don't know why that argument is gaining so much traction when one there's the argument that me and you are having, right? Well, the discussion that me and you are having that, like, dog, he's not ready for that fight. But 2, do you think Frank wants to send Daniel over the matchroom? Because that's what would have to happen. Like, that's what would have to happen.
Well, hang on. Frank's the one talking about, they got to work together.
Bro, he ain't talking about that shit. He ain't talking. Like, bro, he send that kid over there and get slapped around. Like, look, I liked it Eddie Hearn's proposition. Hergovic, Dubois, make it happen.
That'd be, if they don't do Joyce and Dubois, then yeah, do that. That's, same kind of thing to me.
Or what's a fight they could make between them that I would actually want to see? I want to see my guy from Croatia, the Croatian sensation, and no, I'm not talking about Philippe. Give me my guy, Alen Babic, against Nathan Gorman. Nathan Gorman, battle of the Curlies.
Oh, yeah, that'll be entertaining as hell. I was saying that on, I think it was Beats' Hangout the other day. Babic is not, by no means is Babic going to, conquer the heavyweight division or anything like that. But he's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that people don't know how to appreciate fighters. I think that not everybody has to have a title to be fun to watch. Ray Mercer was always fun to watch, but he didn't always have a title. In fact, I think he only won. What did he win? The WBO?
Right. Well, heck, I was just talking in terms of quote unquote boxing skill. Right. Yeah. Like we had this discussion the other day about Lara. Right. Arguably Lara's best fight was against a guy with what people would say is zero boxing skill, Angulo.
Yeah.
You need guys like this to, to put them in against the pure boxers. That makes styles make fights. That's not just a cliche. It's a fucking it's a reality.
Because every time Lara is in there with a finesse guy or a guy who's trying to be a finesse guy, they cure narcolepsy. Narcolepsy.
Yeah, sure. But you got to know that going in if you know Lara.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna out finesse him. You gotta, if you want, but if you put him in there with an Angulo or a Hurd or even a Paul Williams who fought like an Angulo, even though he probably shouldn't have, but that's a different discussion. But nonetheless, right? Now you got something. You know what I mean? Now you got some, chemical reaction. Some friction.
Now we've got a situation. It's not just the Dubois stuff. The WBO is giving us quite a bit to consider, quite a bit to talk about. Jack Catterall is trying to get in the way of Taylor versus Ramirez.
Oh, my God.
Doc, because he doesn't want to step aside. How do you feel about that?
if that's how it's going to be, get his ass in the ring ASAP so we can get him out the way.
The problem with that is Ramirez was just in the ring. He was just in the ring with his WBC mandatory. This is a WBO mandatory, so we're looking at a couple of months to heal up, because it's not like Ramirez looked good in that fight. He didn't look good. He got it done. I scored it. What did I score that shit? I gave 6 rounds conclusively to Ramirez, 4 rounds conclusively to Postol, 2 swing rounds. Even if I would have swung both of those rounds to Postol, what I would have had was a draw. That's what I would have had. The first round, the first round for me was the swing round, and the 10th, I believe it was. The 10th was a swing round for me. So I'm like, all right, even if I swing both these rounds to Postol, that's 6 for 6.
I think where me and you were, it sounds like to me where me and you scorecards. Okay, let me ask you this: did you agree or disagree with how Andre Ward had it through? I think 5 rounds.
Hell no, I don't know what he was watching.
Okay. Where me and you, and because over on Mork's Hangout, we all had it for Postol, right? I think where we differ is how the last 2 to 3 rounds went.
I'll tell you what I had through the first half. The first round I had it swing. Nobody really did nothing. Nobody. The subsequent 4 rounds I gave to Postol. Subsequent 4.
Yep.
Ramirez doesn't get into this thing until the 6th.
Yeah, middle rounds were where Ramirez came on to me.
And I believe I had 6, 7, 8, 9 for Ramirez or Ramirez, like Teddy said. Did I say Teddy? I meant fucking Timmy. Timmy said. And then round 10, I considered that a swing. That could have went to Postol. So time I was done, last 2 rounds, 11 and 12, I gave that to Ramirez.
That's where we differ. See, that's why we had such a big disagreement in terms of the way our scorecards looked. The last 2 rounds, I gave to Postol, and that was how we were looking at it. That's the difference. That's the difference.
We got a question.
Hey, speak of the man.
We got a question before we get into this, Mark. Who do you think hits harder, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, or David Price? I'm going to say this, and I think that people aren't going to agree with me, but hindsight is 20/20. I don't know that Wilder hits as hard as Joshua, because I don't think Romain Stavern could have gone the distance with Joshua, especially if he was dehydrated. I don't think he could have, but he did go the distance with Wilder. He did go the distance with Wilder. And this was a Romain Stavern that was subsequently dehydrated after the fight. Why he was dehydrated, I don't know. You're a heavyweight. It's not like I don't know why you're dehydrated.
Why but you were water, Romain? Yeah.
I don't understand that. But it's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to gauge Wilder's power. Do I think Wilder's a big puncher? Yes, I do think I think he can punch. I think that a lot of guys can't take a clean one from Wilder. So I'm not saying he has no power. But we're rating him against those fighters.
I'll tell you what, Julius. I'll be the disagreeable one here. I feel like the first Romain Stavern fight, if you really look at the way Wilder fought it, I don't think that's really a good gauge, because he fought that fight, almost that entire fight in reverse.
He did, but
I barely remember him more than once or twice stepping into anything.
Yeah, but Wilder's got the reach, the height, and the legs. It's not like you need to be far inside on Romain to catch him. Too, Wilder generates his power on the outside coming in when he hits you with a straight.
But that's exactly what I'm trying to say. He was backing up the whole fight. He was backing up that whole fight. He didn't step into anything like the oh God. I'm fucking.
The answer's David Price.
And
I ain't fucking about. I genuinely think Pricey may actually hit the hardest of the bunch.
It could be.
I've seen him send people fucking 20 yards away with a jab, bro.
I mean, he hits hard. I don't doubt that Price hits hard, and I think that people get those images of David Price hitting the deck out of your head, because
he's got a glass chin and no tank, but he hits like a train.
But he hits. He does hit hard.
Like I'll say this. I also think it kind of depends. Like, if you're talking like just any random punch, right? Like any random punch from any position, I might lean towards Joshua because to me he's got the best punch variety, right? But if we're talking about, you know, one single punch where you get to step in and get full fucking extension, I'm leaning more towards Wilder.
Okay. I want to. But
for Wilder, it's a very specific punch. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
But that's what
it's the long, full, extended, complete body torque, straight right hand.
Yeah. That particular punch, I think, is probably the killer out of all of them. But if we're just
he has to land that thing. He also, the thing about it, Doc, he does have to land it sweet. It has to hit sweet because if it doesn't land completely sweet, it ain't taking someone out.
Okay, but Stavern is fighting the same fight with David Price that he was fighting with Wilder. You tell me that guy goes 12 rounds?
Well, no,
I'm telling you that guy knocks out David Price.
It's more about. Hang on, it wasn't the fight that Bermain was fighting that I was referencing. It was the way Wilder fought in that particular fight.
But it's on a platter, dog. Like, look, God bless Bermain Stavern and his family, because I'm not trying to take a shot at him. I'm just saying that he doesn't have the fastest feet. He doesn't have the fastest hands. He doesn't have the best upper body movement. He doesn't fight on a swivel going outside. Coming inside. He's not what you would describe as elusive. Wilder's got several. Hold on. Wilder's got several inches in height, several inches in reach. He doesn't need to be far on the inside to land a punch. And he was landing on Bermain. He just didn't put him out.
I think Wilder fought overly cautious and was probably a little unsure of himself. In fact,
I'll say this: he landed a lot of power shots on Stavern. Yeah, none of them were that straight right. He landed a lot of right and left hooks on him. He was slapping him as he was coming in.
Yeah,
Stavern did well when Wilder was jabbing him, he was outraged. But when Stavern got inside, Wilder could only slap him. Wilder didn't get a straight right off that much in that fight. It wasn't that the scoreless punch that we've seen.
Yeah.
So, all right, now when he laid out Stavern in a rematch, wasn't it off one of those slapping shots? I vaguely recall Wilder.
Yeah, but that's different. That is different because Stavern had fought Derek Rossi and was dehydrated. Like, that's different. But the straight right is Wilder's main shot.
The money punch is the one he hit Brazil with. That's Wilder's money punch.
That is true.
That particular punch. Again, like, I want to emphasize it. That particular
Joshua, look, what Doc is saying, on one singular shot, maybe Wilder.
Yeah.
Joshua has the better overall punch arsenal.
Right. He can, yeah. If you're gonna say like who can generate more power in their left hook, I'll go AJ. Follow? Am I wrong? You disagree?
No, you're not wrong. Look, right. if we're does Povetkin come into the equation in this? Because I think
his left hook. He definitely generates more power in his left hook.
I don't think we can. I mean, like, and shout out to Povetkin to generate that kind of power at that range with such a compact. That's.
I told you. I'm telling you guys. He's on that Bruce Lee shit. He punches through the target. Through the target.
Because it's not like he had a whole lot of room to add torque and velocity to that uppercut. Like
he's just trying to kill. He's just trying to kill. When he goes for it, he's trying to kill you. Like, if nobody believes me, watch what he did to Pricey. Man was out cold on his feet. Man was dead on his feet. What does he do? He throws his entire body, leaps through him, throwing a big mad ass shot.
And he has plenty of time to see what's going on. It's not like he just, was like following through on a combination. No. He had Pricey doing the Mortal Kombat stagger when they say finish him. Planted, squatted, and like you said, just exploded right through.
Does Dillian win the rematch, or is it too soon to ask that question?
It's too soon to ask that question because I need a video out of that.
I don't know. I mean, I can give my preliminary thoughts. That the main question that I have, without giving a prediction, is I don't know what Whyte needs to do differently because he was doing everything right. For the most part, he was winning the fight, scored 2 knockdowns. He was using his jab, keeping Povetkin out for the most part, and he was landing the jab.
I actually think there is one thing he can do differently.
What?
When Povetkin's looking to throw the left to the body, clinch him.
Tie him up. Yeah, tie him up. Lean
Tie
on
him
him.
up. Yeah, that's one thing he can do different.
Now
Clinch
some
him when
people-
he's thrown the left to the body.
Some people,
Special tactic.
some people I respect disagree with me. I agree with what Teddy Atlas said. Don't
What
let
do
him
you
get don't let him get that close. And if he gets that close, get out of the tower. Get out of the tower. All right? And whether that's tying him up or getting the fuck out and changing range, you don't let him get that close.
I agree.
No, you don't. You don't let him get that close to you. And if he is that close to you, tie him up.
Tie him
That's
up or get the
fine.
fuck out. Whichever one's going to be most expedient. Exactly.
Here, look. This is rule 1 and rule 2 to Povetkin, right? This is how you beat him, right? Other than being able to just blast him out like Joshua was able to do after coming through a bit of a scare. Tie him up. Stay away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most you can. If you really want to, if he gets through, if he gets past the jab and he gets through, clinch. Just clinch. There's no shame in it. Klitschko didn't mind doing it for damn near 9 years. Well, not 9, but most of 9.
He didn't mind doing that for 2 decades. Man.
Now let me ask you guys this, because there's been a lot of, automatically because he had a new trainer, the trainer's going to get a lot of heat, right? I'm not saying this in terms of saying it's the trainer's fault, but stylistically, what I've had explained to me is Xavier Miller, that's his name, right?
Yes.
He's a big proponent of that Michigan James Toney style.
Specifically, he's a big admirer of Pop Miller. Yeah.
And who trained James Toney? Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
I didn't see.
Now-
I didn't. To be fair, I didn't
Let
see.
me finish.
All right.
In terms of just mentality and tactics, that is an in-the-pocket style, an up-close style. You get me?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying it's like an error that Xavier Miller made, but it could be just a stylistic, mistake. You get what I'm trying to say?
But
You don't
did
want
you-
Povetkin,
did
you don't
you
want
see-
Povetkin that close, but
But did
your
you
whole
see a lot
idea.
of James
Yeah.
Toney? Did you see a lot of James Toney and what?
No, but what I did see was a fighter. Dillian was more than happy. Yeah, he used the jab a bit, but for the most part, he was more than happy to be mid-range and in the pocket.
Here's what I saw. I saw a guy fighting super composed, controlling things way more than I've ever seen him do before for 4 rounds, and then he reverted to tight.
Yeah.
Boy, this guy on Twitter, man, he just loves Amanda Serrano, man.
She ain't
I
bad
love me
looking.
some Amanda Serrano. I love
She ain't bad
Amanda Serrano.
looking. What are we
Not even
talking about?
he's argued. Look, all I told the guy, because I'm not even gonna have the debate about who you think wins. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about predictions. What I know is you signed a contract, then you backed out of it. You can't do that and then expect them to give you more money. Like that's not gonna happen, bro. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
If you can't tell me, oh, she needs a fair offer. She needs a fair offer, bro. It was fair enough when she signed on a contract.
Well, now, the only really point of debate that would possibly exist, because I don't know the details here, is did they change how much they were going to pay her? I mean, because of the pandemic or something?
This is what happened. There was talk of a pay cut, but then Katie Taylor decided to take the hit for her so that there would be no shortage to her purse.
Okay, well, if your money that you initially signed on the dotted line for wasn't going to change, then I'm with you. You're on the wrong side.
That's what I'm saying. And to make
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure, because I haven't heard it, but I feel like sometimes it gets left out in these discussions. During the talks of there being a pay cut to Amanda Serrano, right? And then Katie Taylor, she went and she agreed to take a deduction. In the meantime, is that when Amanda agreed the deal to go on to Telemundo?
No, that was before that.
She agreed before the pay cut, before the talks of the pay cut.
Yeah, sequentially, in sequence.
So it's a clusterfuck, basically.
Okay, Julius, give me the Lydia line. Give me the Lydia line.
Basically, they scheduled. It was supposed to go down, I believe, in May. Then it got rescheduled for July. I think that it's when it got postponed after July that they decided to look for other things to do. The problem with that is no matter what, you are under contract. You know that Eddie is moving dates to have fights. You know that. Don't be naive. You know that. And you're under contract. You are not at liberty to do other shit. Period. You cannot double book yourself. You can't do that.
Would you say this to Amanda Serrano's face?
I mean, I would if I got on here live. Like, yo, I'm sorry. If I'm gonna have that discussion, you double dip. What else am I supposed to say?
Okay.
There's nothing like, which is why I'm only gonna interview people that I have nice things to say to, because there's no way for me to have that conversation and be honest and tell you what you want to hear. I can't tell you what you want to hear. The truth is,
give me the questions. I'll interview the girl.
You know something, Julius? You hit on something there, though. That is a big, big problem. And I've said this on a few hangouts recently. That is a big problem with the current boxing media. If you come in and ask tough questions, like, look, Howard Cosell was far from perfect. I know Mark's going to say fuck Howard Cosell. But he would put people...
Man, shut your bitch ass up. Bring out...
oh, God.
Oh, well, that was quick.
I don't even know, dog. Who are these people?
I don't know. Point being, he would put people on the spot. All right? Even Muhammad Ali, you're only fighting for money. You should be getting out, whatever. You must fight so-and-so. Right? If you come in and you're trying to if you come in and you're talking to Errol Spence and you say, Errol, you understand, right, that you must fight Terrence Crawford, you're never going to get to talk to any of those people again.
Well, here's the thing, Doc. Howard Cosell was in a unique position because he can catch the fighter at the most opportune time to ask the most opportune question. The way the media is now is different, as far as when are you going to ask that question,
well,
and where are you going to ask that question?
Right, but he wasn't... Jim
Gray, Deontay Wilder post-Brazil fight. There's your Howard Cosell moments. There it is. That look, if you want to be thought of in that spectrum of Ali and all these guys, you guys have got to fight. We don't want to see Dominic Brazil.
Yeah. Fair enough. But guess, do you think he's... I'm talking about the media nowadays. Mainly, I guess I'm talking social media, boxing media. Those guys aren't good. They're not going to be allowed to talk to that person again if they ask tough questions like that.
That's the truth, and you'll develop a reputation as an ambush journalist, and nobody's going to want to talk to you for fear of the kind of stuff you're going to blindside them with. That's why I say that, look, I'm happy to interview fighters that I actually have questions to ask, but I'm not going to ambush anybody.
Well, and I'm not blaming you for that, but you do see how it's a problem in the big picture,
right? Oh, of course I see it's a problem, but I'll tell you something. It's not the social media journos that are causing the problem. It's the TV guys. The TV guys that are licking ass, if I'm being honest, because the TV guys can catch you post-fight and ask you what they need to ask you live, put you on the spot. You understand?
Right.
And they shouldn't lose their job for asking a question. But the way that things are now, the guys calling a fight, you can't say that they're doing what Howard Cosell was doing, because they're not good. They're going to talk up the fighter. They're going to ask him goofy shit like, "Hey, what'd you order from Del Taco? Looks good." They're not going to ask you this, but they are like Jim Gray. That moment with Jim Gray and Wilder post Brazil was the last Howard Cosell moment I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah, it's the exception. It's the exception, not the rule anymore.
Shout out to Jim Gray.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jim Gray.
Jim Gray's always been on it.
But I mean, if you want to have fighters on, I understand that you have to have the network relationships and you don't want to have a reputation as an ambush journalist, which is why, look, I don't got nothing to say to Amanda or Jordan other than, y'all tried to waffle, bro. I'm sorry, but how else am I supposed to see it? Y'all signed on. The pandemic happened. And y'all thought that the contract is null and void? No, it's not. They're rescheduling the date, and you're still under contract. What else am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
Hey, Julius, got a question for you.
Yeah.
Right. It's a very specific question.
All right.
Are you still free Thursday or Friday?
Oh.
Thursday or Friday, I'm still free, but I might try to get Kalia Karuni on here. I'm still trying to get Savannah Marshall. Tiara Brown, Mary McGee, these are fighters that I'm looking at to get on here. I only managed to be free today because I didn't have nothing booked.
All you gotta do is get 14 or 15 and you'll score higher than me and you'll make me salty.
I mean, aren't you number 3? You're number 3,
four,
Doc.
somewhere. Yeah, so 3.
No,
or
he's
4.
tied. He's tied 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
I heard Beats is kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah, to be expected. Man. Be slapping people around over there.
Bro, this guy, man, fighters fight. That's their job. If Hernan, bro, like, oh my God, yo, dude, if you're listening, bro, all right, it's simple. I don't give a shit that you and Amanda are from the same island. Like, I don't care, bro. That doesn't have nothing to do with nothing. Don't sign a contract, flake on it, then ask for more money. No, like, period. Ain't nobody really even gonna want to do business with you after that because you flaked on a contract you signed on an agreed amount of money. Period. Be real with yourself, dog. Don't worry about me. Be real with yourself. Goofy shit. But back to this Jack
Julius,
Adderall.
Real quick. Pick a number 1 to 15.
Number 8.
Okay. That'll be the batch of questions you'll receive.
8? All right. That's a lot of questions.
Batch 8. No, batch 8. It's 25 questions.
All right.
Takes about 8 minutes.
He thought that was a lot of questions, Doc.
I gotta get Lennox knows what the hell I'm talking about. I gotta get this guy on here. Cause this
Wait! I want to know more. I want to know what Mork thinks of Daniel Dubois versus Usyk.
You know what he thinks about that.
I know, but I gotta hear it.
Good luck to Daniel. I wish him nothing but the best. He's a powerful kid. Anything can happen when you're big and you have power. Anything can happen. He gets fucking wrenched. He gets rinsed in that ring.
Bro, he goes, look, man. But this is why I say that it's a non-issue, because you know this, Mark. Frank ain't gonna send that kid over there. No way. No way. No fucking way.
Okay. Now let me be the voice of just to make this conversation interesting, right? Just to make this conversation interesting. Fish Eyes did put Yard in the ring with Kovalev, did he not?
Because they offered him an obscene amount of money.
May I just say one thing? Right.
Fair enough.
Doc.
Yeah.
Just to play Angel's advocate.
Okay.
Just to play the Angel's advocate.
Yo.
Right. I'm gonna run you through this scenario. Right.
Hold on. What's going on, Spade? You got an echo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me take the phone. I'm in my car. I'm on Bluetooth. Again.
I dig it.
Yeah, Wagwan.
Okay,
Brethren.
Mark, finish your point, then I'm gonna pass it over to Lennox.
When Yard fought Kovalev, he still had Warrington. He kind of still had more of a stake in Fury. Blah blah blah. Before Fury became world champion, right? So I'm gonna run you through what Doc just said. This is Frank Warren. My company is on its knees. I'm about to go broke. Do you know what I'll do? Put Daniel Dubois over on matchroom against Alexander Usyk. Because that's smart.
Well, I don't. This is the thing. This is the thing. I don't know if you guys saw this. Who's eating cereal?
Somebody's got crack on the microphone. Not the good good.
The only breakfast of champions I got is Corona beer right here, man.
All right, I'm gonna mute everybody. I'm gonna mute. All right. Let's see where it's coming from. All right, now, unmute yourselves when I'm done. Queensbury just expanded to Poland, bro. So I don't know if they're doing bad. I'm just saying that they expanded to Poland of all places. So are they doing bad?
Very bad. Because the reason they're expanding into Poland is because they're able to launch an onslaught of fights that essentially don't really need to be sanctioned.
Mic check.
There's
Also,
nothing in
Julius.
Poland. What have they got? Marius Vac and Kamil Sokolowski?
Yeah, they got Go ahead,
Also,
Lennox.
Julius, incorporating in a different company doesn't mean that you can have a different set of books. That doesn't reflect how you're doing in your local. You could open up an LLC in New York and have a set of books and account in there, and open something in the Cayman Islands and keep them totally separate.
Okay. So just because they're expanding doesn't mean that they're doing good, basically.
So let's look at it this way. If you look at the exchange rate, for instance, when I first moved over here for uni, the exchange rate of the pound was $2. Yeah, my mom was could take care of me because the exchange rate was in the favor. So basically, what I'm saying is that is the reason people go overseas for surgeries. Exchange rates in their favor. It's a lot. I'm in Poland usually once a year for a festival called Camera Maj. It's like the Oscars of cinematography.
Okay.
The exchange rate is utter shite from the pound or dollar to Poland. So let's just say opening up a business in Poland doesn't necessarily mean you're doing great. It means that where I would spend 100,000 quid to do that same business in the UK or $100,000 in the US, I could do it for about 5 to 10,000 in a different territory. You get me?
Okay.
Oh, so
okay.
it's like going to Mexico to get your eye surgery or something like that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that opening up in Poland doesn't necessarily reflect you being physically, fit.
It
you
means it's cheaper. It's cheaper to do business in Poland, is what it means, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But all signs point to trouble. All signs. I mean, everything I've been seeing, like, yeah, he had some decent numbers. The last card that he put on, the Dubois card, it has some decent numbers. That's great. Financially, I don't know what the hell that means. You still need match room. Didn't Frank Warren say, he said this, but I don't believe it. This is what I mean. That, he'd be willing to put Daniel in there. Yeah, right, bro. With Usyk? Yeah, right, bro. Come on, bro. You see what he did to your other man. But you going to put Daniel.
For the right amount, I'll say it this way then, based on what we've all said here, right? Would you agree maybe if he got Kovalev yard type money for it, he'd do it?
Yeah,
absolutely. I think he'd do it.
You think he would, honestly? I think he's got a lot. Look, bro, I think he's got a lot riding on Daniel. I really do. If he let's imagine.
Okay, real quick.
Let's imagine a world.
All right.
Let's imagine a world. You ain't got fucking Warrington no more. Billy Joe done left you, and you were his career-long promoter, and you have no Daniel Dubois. What have you got? Archie Sharp?
Well, hang on. One loss doesn't mean he disappears.
No, I'm not saying that he disappears. I'm saying that.
I mean, he's still got yard, right?
No. I'm saying that basically you have enough riding on this kid that you don't need him to take a L across the street. You don't need that.
Well, okay, but how much financial trouble is he in? I mean, again, we're saying if Dubois, if Frank gets offered the kind of money Yard got for fighting Kovalev, for Dubois to fight Usyk, we're under that scenario, is that enough money for him to be willing to sacrifice?
No, because that'll get in the way of the Lardy rematch. The Lardy rematch set to go down in the summer of 2021, bro.
Wait, what? Yeah, my man's got jokes.
You can't do that, all right? We got Lardy 2 coming up. We got Gorman 2 coming up. He's got
no Julius.
For these
seriously
so
though.
What I'll say is this, that Frank may not have the cash reserves of his competitors, but he does have lucrative deals with networks, which he can probably stretch out till he can financially recover. Because what it is, when you look at his situation in Company House, that reflects his cash reserves. It doesn't reflect what his quote unquote deal is worth. You know what I mean? If you got a deal that's paying you out for X amount of time, you could float on that even if you're on the red. So
he's
that
tied,
BT thing.
Yeah. He's tied in with Bob and ESPN, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's got dealings with MTK more or less. Am I wrong? But he deals with MTK pretty good.
Yeah. He's also leveraging his catalog because I re-upped my ESPN Plus this weekend, and I noticed that Frank's whole catalog is on ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Because they struck a damn deal. I forget.
So,
I didn't forget, but it just.
Lennox, you might know this. I know this is gonna sound random as fuck. Who's got the rights to Eubank Senior's fight catalog? Is it Fish Eyes or is it Barry Hearn?
Isn't it Barry?
It's Barry.
Is it Barry? Okay.
I believe it's Barry. Actually, you know what? The way the Eubanks are, he might have bought back his catalog, if I'm honest. Because they're very. Because Eubank, he acts like, they behave like they're nutty, but his lawyer and this thing, he's been quite shrewd business wise. So I wouldn't be surprised if he managed to negotiate his broadcast rights back.
Okay, because you had me thinking there. I'm like, oh, I wonder if because I got DAZN and I got ESPN Plus. I'm wondering, is one of those going to have the Eubank Senior fight catalog? But you're saying he might have it for himself then, which.
Yeah, he. There are certain fighters with enough leverage to own things outright. To own depends on what their deals were to own their catalogs outright.
I love me some Eubank Senior. I ain't gonna lie. I love me some Eubank Senior, but the monocle.
Now, let me tell you something. Lennox, you're part of this conversation. We had it this morning. All right, you're here stateside with where I am, more or less. So you had it this morning as well. And this Serrano thing, man. And this is. I just want to preface everything I'm about to say with this. I'm not against nobody trying to get money. We all trying to get money. Doc trying to get money. I'm trying to get money. Andy trying to get money. Lennox trying to get money, right? But you got to be real, yo. All right? If you don't like what's on the table and you can't counter it with anything, you can't counter it, right? You're just in no position to haggle. You don't have the marquee value it takes to get this amount of money on your own. So you have two options. You can accept it, or you can reject it. But what you cannot do is call it a low ball because you don't make that kind of money. And outside of this, you ain't going to make that kind of money. Period. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about, Lennox?
Yeah, I know. And it's mad because, obviously, like I know Ronica Jeffries and I know Heather. Yeah.
Then why you ain't get no, Lennox, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you because I want to get, especially Heather, because I got a lot of questions for Heather because she's been around the block. Like, she's been around a long time. She knows the fight game in and out, all the stories about small purses, all of that shit. That's all shit that I want to talk about here. You better get me Heather Hardy, man.
All right. Gleason's all right. They just reopened. I know Ronica. I'll DM Ronica.
And I want Ronica too. I want Ronica too because Ronica's in the WBA rank standings. It could end up being Ronica Jeffrey versus Alicia. But I want to talk to Ronica. I want to talk to all of them because it's a lot of shit I got to ask people. But
yeah, so I'll tell you this. So these are the three fighters, the three female, and like my only interest in female boxing is because I know these girls. I know a few of the amateurs that are going to the Olympics. Helen Joseph, I trained with her. My mate trained her. Ronica, I just know her because she used to be a face for one of my friends. She trained. One of my friends was an S&C coach, and she trains in a gym that I train in, and she's done some photo shoots for his women's boxing clothing line. So bottom line, like I'm familiar with these chicks, and I definitely had some, mild conversation, not really too much this thing about. And what I will say is that Heather loved the money that she got and loved dealing with Eddie in terms of purses. And, I think I mentioned this, that I know all these female fighters, and what they all have in common is they all have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making enough from boxing, from any of these local promoters or any of the U.S. promoters to just box, which they'd love to. And the only person who was providing opportunities with paydays, like the best payday Heather got was on that Matchroom card.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly enough, Heather sold that card more than Serrano. So the whole like Serrano situation to me is just number one.
The Punch said that too, right? Punch said that Heather Hardy, for the buildup of their fight, she stuck around, talked to people, stuff like that. But the Serrano team, they just dipped, after I think they had they had to do a little bit of talking or something like that. And the Serranos dipped, but Heather Hardy stayed behind. Did some press work, I believe it was, talking to the.
Yeah, that was Heather. I can't give you the exact numbers, but Heather sold most of those tickets. I mean, like Gleason's promote with that. I mean, that was a Heather Hardy fight. That wasn't a Serrano fight, which is just interesting. So yeah, I mean, if you can't make offers, yeah, and what's interesting is that you're souring a relationship with the only person that you have admittedly stated is the only person with the bank.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like there's other options. You get me? It's not like you're going to, there's one consensus, that I think every female fighter will agree on, that at this point, if you're trying to get paid as a female boxer, there's only one side of the street, so to speak, where there's a realistic amount of money that you can make in promotional-wise. The fights that you could get is on a Matchroom card or against a Matchroom fighter as a female boxer.
I mean, look.
You know what? based on what you just said there, Lennox, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I like if you'd come into me like in the 80s or even the 70s when I was a little kid and told me I'd be saying this, I'd laugh. First off, big up women's boxing. Secondly, Bob, Fish Eyes, Fishnets, everybody else, you need to start opening up the bank for these girls because they get down. They give us what we want.
Yeah.
Right? And they give me, as a fucking boxing fan, I'm going to say it for the 100th time. Old people repeat themselves. Deal with it, chat section. All right?
I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
We got 3 undisputed women's champions, right? And you can't tell me, no one can tell me who we got to murder and leave in a ditch to get a men's undisputed champion.
Basically. But ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
That's just the truth.
Yeah.
It's just the fucking truth. All right?
And it's a fraction.
If you asked a guy in the situation that Jessica McCaskill was in, right, unified champion at 140, to move up
2 weights. She moved up 2 weights, right? Am I right?
fight somebody with a record like Breakus in that situation, most of them guys would have been like, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. You can't get guys in the same division to fight. You couldn't get Davis to fight a live 130-pound fighter outside of the Jose Pedraza fight. You couldn't do it. You can't get him to fight a live lightweight. You can't get him to do it. He won't do it.
You know what? I at the risk of sounding like a Davis apologist, I gotta. Floyd cut in before Davis had a chance to even think about it after the Pedraza fight. Right away, he just fucking dunked on the idea of a fucking Lomachenko fight. No, we're not doing that.
I think in 2017, when Tank was still riding high, before all the stuff set in, he probably would have said yeah, but I feel that they projected their fear into him. I think, like, let's say it would have been, it's Liam Walsh fight. He had the Liam Walsh fight, all right? And they asked him, yo, you open a fight in Loma? If they don't say nothing, if they don't cut in front of him and they don't pep talk him and shit talk him, he probably would say, yeah, I'll fight that dude because he's a fighter.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Floyd didn't even give him a chance to answer. Floyd cut right in there. No, we're not doing that shit. And look, I'm a cynical bastard. Like, I think you mentioned it on your recent video, right? You raised the question. You raised it as a question. Are they trying to age Lomachenko? Of course they're trying to age Lomachenko. Of course, Floyd is very, very, I'll say, tactical. He's got a great tactical mind for this kind of thing, right? He had already decided in 2017, we're waiting until Lomachenko's 35.
See,
he essentially said it. He said it.
Exactly. Yeah, if you read between the lines. Yeah.
No. I think it pretty much said it. And I mean, listen, as great as Floyd is, no one could tell me that Floyd went at every threat when they were at the peak. It's part of the game. I'm not going to take anything away from him. If you got the option to catch a guy on the slide, that's what you do. It's just Floyd never did it as, obviously as, say, Canelo does. You know what I mean? Like, it's part of the game. You get me? I'm not going to hold it against him, but it's like Floyd. He said it. I'm pretty sure I could find the exact interview. It's like, yeah, well, you know what I mean? Catch him on the slide, catch him slowing down.
Lennox, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to defend Canelo a little bit here. In my opinion,
it's a day of firsts for you.
It is. He fought a prime Trout and he fought a prime Lara, in my opinion.
And he fought a decent Cotto. Hey. He fought a decent Cotto, too. Cotto was WBC champion. He was a decent Cotto. Wasn't a prime Cotto, obviously, but a prime Cotto ain't a junior middleweight Cotto. I wouldn't say.
Fair enough. I'm not saying that. Yeah, but the weight, there was some serious weight bullshit with the Jacobs fight. The Cotto fight.
We can't, Doc, we can't do that. Because Jacob, he had a 10-pound weight cap the fight before. If it didn't stop you from beating Sergey, then don't cry about it when it's Canelo. It didn't stop you from beating Sergey.
Okay, Mark's gone. Because Mark knows the specifics on this. I thought it was a bit.
I can give you the specifics. The IBF changed their rule. They changed their rule
for unification. Yeah.
For unifications, no weight cap. But every other title fight, there's a weight cap. Now we know that the fight before that, He fought Sergey Derevyanchenko for the vacant IBF, right?
Yes,
There was a 10-pound weight limit. There was a 10-pound rehydration limit. Now, you were okay to fight Sergey. That's the same Sergey that made Golovkin look like old Lofkin. Same Sergey, the same guy. You were cool to fight him. You were cool to beat him with that same 10-pound rehydration limit. So why is it an issue when it's Canelo? Because you wanted, is it because you wanted to rehydrate 20 pounds or something like that?
Is that all it is? Is that all it was a 10-pound rehydration?
That's all it was, man. And the only difference is that instead of the IBF implementing the rehydration clause,
It was
Canelo. But it's the same clause. It's the same thing that you just fought under and won under. So what's the problem?
Well, then he got what he asked. If that's the case, then Jacobs got what he asked for. And,
I give Canelo shit all the time, so it's not like I'm a Canelo apologist. I give Canelo shit all the time, but I can't. That's silly. That one is silly to me because he fought under that weight cap. He literally fought and won the title.
I get it, but it's still a little screwy in the sense that it wasn't supposed to be the case because it was supposed to be unification. You get me? I understand.
I get that Canelo moves. I get tired of Canelo shit too. I get tired of his shit.
Hey, you know what, Julius? Yeah, I think you might have just hit on what it is with me. It's always something with him, even when it's something that when you really look at it, like the way you just broke it down, maybe it's not as big a deal, but goddamn, it's always something with that guy.
I'll say if there's anything small that bothered me, right, that maybe I should just let it go, it's the Margaret Goodman stuff. Canelo got the fight for the WBC title in the first Golovkin fight, having not been enrolled in the clean boxing program. Why does that bother me? Because 25 other fighters were dropped from their ranks, I believe it was in 2016, because they didn't enroll in the program. Jarrell Miller had to stop calling out Wilder because he didn't want to enroll in the program. Yeah. But Canelo, this whole time, is ranked by the WBC, gets the fight for the title, but you weren't enrolled in the program. Now, I understand that there was VADA testing because that's how they caught you. So I know that you paid for the VADA testing. I'm just saying that that's a brazen example of how the WBC bends the rules for this guy.
Isn't the WBC belt the same one that he basically handed over to Golovkin?
Yes. One and the same. That's why it's like, yo, if I'm stuck on something, that's what I'm. Forget the weight cap. That's what I'm stuck like. Yo, so y'all ranked this dude. Y'all dropped 25 other fighters. 25. Y'all dropped David Haye. Y'all dropped Errol Spence. Yeah, Errol Spence used to be ranked by the WBC.
Now you're putting. But I mean, Errol Spence. I'm not saying he's nowhere near Canelo level, but that's he's not nobody. He's not nobody. And
I'm just saying that a lot of fighters lost their rank for not enrolling in the program. But Canelo gets to not enroll in the program and fight for the title, and we don't find out that he wasn't enrolled until after the fight.
After the fight, yeah.
Yeah, so, Canelo, obviously, he's on a run. He's pretty much beating up everyone. And the only guy, consensus-wise, who people thought could beat him was Golovkin. Now, he's beaten Golovkin, so it's like, who beats Canelo now? That's a round right now. Or who could potentially beat him?
I could tell you a name. I could tell you a name, South London, but that fight won't happen. And that is my guy, all the way from Russia with love, Dmitry Bivol. He's got the legs, he's got the straight punches, he's got the hand speed, he's got the pedigree. He's Dmitry Bivol.
And he don't need the nasal spray. Because I maintain nasal spray Billy Ho beats Cannoli. He does. Do you disagree?
I don't know.
Nasal spray Billy Ho beats a lot of dudes between 154 168. I'm just saying.
I mean, we're talking about a specific this is a very specific Billy Joe.
I know. I like to be specific.
Because we're not talking Akavov Billy. We're not talking
No. We already know about Billy, and Billy fights. Billy's got that Cuban syndrome, fighting down to the competition. We all know that. We all know that already. But I'm saying, so okay, he's gonna be up for Cannoli. Plus, we give him his nasal spray. I don't know. Canoli's
look,
probably going to get the scorecard.
but isn't this the most specific? Because we're not talking Kosaris, Billy. We're not talking Isufi, Billy. We're not talking Akavov, Billy. It has to be Lemieux, Billy. Nasal spray.
Yeah. Nasal spray, Lemieux, Billy. Yep.
Lemieux. That's the Billy we're talking about. And even with that, I'm not. I mean, you could give Billy all the flow nays in the world. Canelo's upper body movement is exquisite.
Well, okay. All the hang on. Well, all the flow days in the world. Hang on. All the flow days in the world ain't gonna change the fact that Canoli's gonna have at least one scorecard in his favor, no matter what.
That's the other thing. Billy's not knocking him out. Billy's not knocking him out.
Yep.
That's why I give the best chance to my guy, Dimitri Bivol, because he's a strong puncher. He's not the biggest puncher at 175, but yeah, he can punch. He can punch.
Is he gonna have any? Is draining down to 168? And you know there's gonna be a rehydration clause.
Yeah.
Is that gonna maybe diminish him though?
Maybe. Who's eating cereal?
Yeah, who's got the?
I don't
Who's
know.
got some kind of fucking noise going on? It ain't me.
The green mask?
The green
Yeah,
mask.
I lowered it.
I hear cereal. All right. Yeah. I mean, I would think that as time progresses, it would be more difficult for Dimitri to make that weight. But he says he's okay. He says he can make 168. So I mean, I don't. It ain't like
I'm down with that fight.
168.
I'm down with that fight. Yeah, go with it.
Yeah. So I mean, if he's willing to take it, shit, why not? But I don't know.
Andre. What about Andre?
Andre. See, the problem with Andre, and this is a very strange breakdown. Andre's been around a very long time, right? Very long time.
Yep.
And
This has got to be good because let's hear what you guys.
Just pay attention to this. Andre is a guy who's wanted this opportunity for such a long time, since he was WBO champion at 154 pounds. He's no stranger to chasing around Canelo, right?
Yep.
And it reminds me of a situation to where if you finally got that opportunity, you might dick it up. You might shrink under the hot lights. Canelo ain't gonna shrink under the hot lights, not with a judge in the pocket, not with Mauricio licking his ass and Margaret Goodman. He's not gonna shrink. But you might, because you finally got what you wanted. And now you got to answer, are you really good enough? I know you got the most frustrating style for Canelo. You're tall, you're a southpaw, you got a good set of legs, you're awkward and herky-jerky, all that stuff. But I've never seen you under the hot lights, ever. And you're a two-division champion.
What's the story with...
My argument is...
Go ahead, Lennox.
Sorry, my argument's always been that, like, I feel like to beat Canelo on the cards, no matter how good you are, you got to fight him in Europe. Like that European tour he's waiting to take, I'd say put a lot of money on the table, get him over in front of some European judges that they can't buy off, and then we'll see what he's really about.
Yeah, but what are the odds that you're going to get Canelo versus Andre? And I don't know.
No. I know that's not happening.
Yeah.
I know that's not happening.
hypothetical.
I'm just saying the only way to beat Canelo without really putting him to sleep, and I'm not talking about knocking him out, because you can knock him out, and we know what the judges and the refs will do on this end. I mean, we saw what happened with Wilder. We saw what happened with Fury. We know that in situations where the fight should have been stopped, anywhere else would have been stopped because it's a house fighter. They would do everything short of actually having the ref administer sleeping salts. They'll do everything to make sure the fight continues. You get me?
Yeah. All I'll say is it's not likely. And
Okay.
It's not likely that you're going to see Canelo versus Bivol anyway. So it's like, what the hell's the point?
Let me ask it a different way, Julius. In a vacuum, right? In an idealistic, non-existent world, Andre versus Canelo, who you got?
I still have Canelo.
You really?
Because he dealt with a crap.
You think he beats him fair and square?
Perhaps because I've seen Canelo in there with a crafty southpaw in Erislandy Lara. And Canelo is
a fight a lot of people thought he lost.
Some people. I felt he didn't do enough. I still feel.
So here's the other factor too. Canelo just doesn't have the legs anymore. He's got knee issues. So I think anyone with movement at this point in his career, I'm not sure if the movement and mobility issues he has. You go there and you tag him, you punch him up and move for 12 rounds, and touch him up and move for 12 rounds, and he can't cut the ring off successfully. That's a different fight.
Look.
He was a lot
Hold
younger
on.
against
Wait a minute. All right. Now, we got to be talking about a jab, right? Think of the George Foreman Chuvalo fight, right? A jab like that, right? It's going to be coming from a southpaw, but it's got to be that clear, that concise, that precise, that you see Canelo's head snapping back. Now, Canelo's legs might not be what they used to be, but he still has great head movement. And what he don't offset with his head, he'll catch on the gloves. He'll do that shit he did to Kovalev. March forward, high guard, catching it on the gloves. And you'd have to be naive to think that judges are going to give you that what on activity.
Hang on. What did I say?
No, he said in an ideal world.
In a vacuum?
Yeah, in a vacuum, in an idealistic world that doesn't exist. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Doc, are you realizing how hypothetical?
I know it's hypothetical. I'm not saying, but nonetheless, I'm just asking you, in a fair and square world that we know doesn't exist, who would you have? That's all I'm asking.
I'd still go with Canelo behind the Coque performance. Behind how Andre looked with Coque. Coque's a good fighter. God bless him. I mean, he is. He's just one of many fighters that.
He's tricky. He's tricky. Yeah.
He's tricky, He's a good fighter. Like, maybe he's not the best, but he's a good fighter. Yeah. And look at how Andre handled that situation. I feel like Andre excels against statuesque fighters. Like, you see what he did to Willie Nelson. He beat the crap out of that guy. He beat the crap out of Volantez Fox.
Yes.
A little guy where he's got to punch down to hit him, lower center of gravity. You know that Andre doesn't have the best balance. Like, he doesn't. You're punching down to hit this little guy who has a lower center of gravity than you do. He's more balanced than you are in this situation. He just so happens to fight on a swivel, and he's a counterpuncher. Your shots are sometimes very wide. He's a bigger puncher than you are. I can say that. Canelo's a bigger puncher than you are. If he hits you with something you don't see, you're going to hit the deck. You don't I like Andre. Don't get me wrong. I like him. And I do think out of all the options on the table, he has the most frustrating style of all of them. Than Callum, than Billy. Andre is more hard to figure out. But you are off balance. That's a weakness. Yeah. Sometimes you're all over the place. In fights that you're controlling.
Yeah. I'll say this much. That the Andre versus Canelo could very easily be a fight that does not appeal to anyone but the hardcores, because who's going to take the lead?
Yeah.
They're both going to be trying to get the other one to take the lead.
I feel that I don't think that Andre would play counterpunching with Canelo. I think Andre, what he would do is he'd do something a little bit unorthodox and try to take the initiative, take it to Canelo, because by now we all know Canelo's reputation. We all know. You got to take it to this guy. You got to beat him. You really got to beat him. And in the process of doing that, I honestly believe, this guy gets dropped, maybe twice. This guy gets dropped. I don't know if he gets knocked out. I don't really think that.
No, I can't see him getting. I guess if you go with the argument that he's going to be forced into being aggressive, then I'd buy into your points. But Andre on his normal clinical things, where I think he's been sloppy when he's been forced to be quote unquote entertaining. But he stays within his pocket. And his out of balance thing is usually because he's always on the swivel. Well, if he stays in pocket, I think it's better. But I think the pressure and him knowing that he's going into the fight already down 5 rounds on the card before the first bell.
Yeah, even said a round. He said 5 rounds, dog.
Yeah.
No, but really, I'm not like, it sounds like I'm taking the piss, but realistically, that's really about it. If you look at the cards, you look at all Canelo's cards.
Imagine going back to your corner after the first round, and they're like, "You're down 5 rounds, chap." That's crazy.
Oh man, dog. Oh man, look, man. At this point, people ain't fighting Canelo to win. They're fighting to get paid. They ain't fighting him to win. They're fighting to get paid. Look, Callum, God bless him. But nah, dog, you can't beat this guy. You can't beat this guy.
He has
Billy,
rider problems.
yeah, like you got rider problems,
dude,
bro.
Dude,
You gotta keep them out.
Kovalev's quotes after the Canelo fight were just absolutely shameful.
Well, he said anybody that expected me to win that fight.
That's what I'm saying. That's fucking shameful. Shameful, bro.
Oh
That
God!
pretty
So
much just proves what Ring said, though.
yeah, that I mean, yeah. Honestly, and I'm not one for the I told you so, but I'm like, yo, dog, like, come on, you got to keep it a bean. Like these guys ain't fighting him to win.
I hate to go here. But I always said Kovalev's a mentally weak bully, and that just cemented the whole thing. On top of the Ward fights and all that just cements the whole thing to me. That man went in there with the mindset of I ain't gonna win this fight anyways, and got his ass knocked out by fucking little ass Canelo.
But
my only asterisk to that is that there's other top guys that he could have fought in that division that he just didn't. So that'd be my.
Think about it this way, bro. What does Canelo Better Beef do? You know, I know that me and you know who Better Beef is, and I know that me and you look at that fight as a sensational fight. But if you're Canelo, I'm going to fight Better Beef, who's even lesser known than Kovalev. Kovalev, who was put on pay-per-view in the United States 2 times, couldn't crack 200,000 with each pay-per-view. Couldn't crack 200,000. And I'm going to take on these massive risks to appease who? I'm not going to get more money out of it.
Right, Kovalev at least had the association with Andre Ward, the controversial first fight, the second fight, semi-controversial, that's a different discussion, but whatever. He had that association, nonetheless, regardless of the pay-per-view numbers.
And the other thing I'll say is that for all we're saying about Sergey Kovalev, the truth is that if I'm going to be objective, I didn't think he was going to beat her later in the rematch, and he did. And he defended his title, won it by way of knockout, retained it by way of knockout against an undefeated, full-fledged, strong, young, light heavyweight. These are the facts. Now, if Kovalev is just a tick over, the way that Canelo's detractors want to make him out to be, he's just a tick over, then tell Jamal Charlo to go up there. Tell him.
No, I wasn't. Now, see, I didn't.
No,
say
not
that
you,
to,
not you, Doc. But I'm just saying that I'm playing devil's advocate for Canelo because, of course, Kovalev wasn't what he used to be, but he wasn't a tick over because I don't see Golovkin in no hurry to go to 175 to fight nobody.
Well, and before the knockout, everybody I know had Kovalev way ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you could have easily had him up on points behind activity and controlling the real estate.
Canelo just wasn't throwing punches. He just wasn't throwing punches.
So I mean, you could have had Kovalev up. You could have. All I'm saying is, if it's a takeover, if we're gonna look at these fights like Rocky Fielding, no, but because to me it's like, okay, Golovkin, I've been waiting on you to move up for a long goddamn time. You wouldn't even move up for a Rocky Fielding, bro.
Julius, do you watch basketball?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, who Rocky Fielding looks like? He looks like Bill Wennington.
Well, yeah, like Golovkin, there's fights up there for that. There have been. I don't expect him to do it now. I have no expectations of this guy. Like it's Zeremata for $14 million. Can I blame you? Not really. I mean, if they paid me $14 million in that situation, why the fuck would I move up? Like, I don't gotta move up. I could fight Zeremata for $14 million.
I'm surprised they haven't worked something out with what's his name, the Japanese cat, Murata.
I would prefer to see that than Zeremata.
What's up with this whole he's going to PBC? What's up with Canelo going to PBC? That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know what. You know what? I don't. If I'm being honest, bro, I don't know who started that shit. I don't. But unless the PBC is going to guarantee this man $35 million a fight, why the fuck would he go over there? To be on pay-per-view?
Hang on, isn't he under contract? Because we were just talking about this with Serrano. Ain't he under contract? I know it's cannoli, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants anyways when push comes to shove. But
you're right, Doc. You're right, Doc. He's under contract, and it's a good contract for what it's worth. All he's got to do is sit on his hands. That's it.
I mean, the guy got paid how many $1 million to beat up fucking Rocky Field?
Yeah, like under those, like I don't know. You know what I think? I think that because I didn't search that story. Like I said with the Daniel Dubois thing, right? There's certain stories that gain traction that I don't really want to make a video about because I know that, bro, there's nothing to that story, bro. Canelo ain't going to the PBC unless the PBC is prepared to give this man $35 million a fight. He's going to breach his contract with his own, which is a long-term contract, 11-fight contract.
And who does he fight over there?
Exactly. Jermall Charlo?
Okay.
David Benavidez?
Okay. I'm not mad at I'm just...
No, I mean, I'm not mad at that fight either. I'm saying, how does it look to Canelo? How does it look for Oscar?
But how do they justify paying him $35 million to fight Benavidez? Or
because they thought people... This is the thing. I would love to see him fight Benavidez. I'm sure you would, Doc. I'm sure Virtuoso, Unrivaled.
Yes.
I'm sure we would all love to see him fight Benavidez. But
Absolutely. Love to see who fight the Benavidez.
Canelo.
Nah, man, I'm gonna go with the usual YouTube narratives. Benavidez hasn't earned a fight with Canelo, bro.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I
mean, if I'm honest,
missing weight.
Of course, I would
getting stripped of titles for cocaine.
Of course, I would love to see him have the fight, but you got to be real. You think Oscar and him is going to move heaven and earth to go to the PBC to fight David Benavidez?
And most likely he'll end up fighting like Ronald Gavril or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Is he?
And I'm not trying to shit on Ronald Gavril. I'm not trying to shit
No, me neither. But I'm saying you're going to do this not for guaranteed money. For pay-per-view money, because like remember, it's pay-per-view. You may or may not get what you hope. You may or may not get it.
Now, Canoli is the one guy in North America that does consistently do good pay-per-view.
Yeah, but do you think he'd make $35 million guaranteed
for Benavidez?
Yeah.
Benavidez, the Hispanic market is wrong.
Can I interject here?
Yeah, Loco.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Is Canelo done with the middleweight division?
I think he is.
Seems to be.
Because I just see... Because if he's going to PBC, what do you think is a bigger fight? Benavidez or Charlo?
Benavidez.
Really?
You got to understand.
Oh, yeah, because I keep forgetting. The Mexican crowd, they buy pay-per-view, yes.
The Hispanic market.
Yeah. Yeah, they drive the pay-per-view market. I forget, but like, it's like, I don't know, man. It just seems so far-fetched.
And Charlo, for what it's worth, Charlo is from Texas. If they hold it in the right location, Charlo and Canelo would not do badly. I think Benavidez and Charlo does better.
It's not that, Doc. It's not that those fights can't be worked. Of course they can be worked. It's just that I'm saying from where Canelo is sitting and Oscar are sitting, we're going to move heaven and earth when right here we have $35 million guaranteed. We get to beat up on old Golovkin. That's still there. Like, yo, when Golovkin comes around his old motherfucking ass, we gonna make a cool $35 million, knocking his ass out.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been a long time Golovkin fan on here. Everybody knows this, and I'll be the first one to say it. If his dumb ass goes in there with Canoli again, he's getting knocked the fuck out, or he's getting stopped in the corner.
Yes, he is. For $35 million, you're looking at this and you say, all I got to do is slap around this guy that's old, that Sergey just slapped around, and I get $35 mil, and I'm going to cross over there to fight Frankenstein's monster? No, I'm good. I don't got to do that. I don't you better get your weight up, Frankenvidez. Like, the fuck? I don't need
okay, now hang on. Are we saying that Golovkin's slipped so far and or Benavidez is so good that Benavidez is a tougher fight?
Yes.
Because I think I probably agree with you. I think Benavidez might be a tougher fight.
Look, bro, unless and there's no chance of this happening.
No, we're talking hypothetical. We know that.
Yeah. No, but
Canelo even said he won't fight Mexicans anymore.
No, not even that. Golovkin's next fight is Kamil Zeremata, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he could go in there and look fucking incredible against Kamil Zeremata. What the hell does that tell us? Absolutely nothing. After that,
tells us everything, bro. Camille Cesare-Meta is an elite counterpuncher on the back foot. He's a confident boxer.
Come on, Lord.
Everybody talks about how he has no knockouts. There's a reason he's won all of these fights like via decision. He's an amazing boxer.
I'm no more.
Dude, he's like the middleweight. He's the middleweight. Hang on. He's the middleweight Cesar Cuenca. You guys remember Cesar Cuenca?
No, he's not, bro. He's the Polish Danny Jacobs. He's the Polish Danny Jacobs.
Oh, Danny Jacobs got more knockouts than that. Come on.
I know he does, but I'm talking hospitalized Jacobs.
Cesar Rene Cuenca. Shout out to Cesar Rene Cuenca. No one remembers him but me.
But it's like you look at that situation and then you think of guys like David Benavidez and you're like, bro, that shit is not gonna happen. You know what you need to do? You need to fight Caleb fucking Plant. Forget about Canelo, because Canelo ain't thinking about you, so forget about him. You need to fight Caleb Plant.
Hey, for fuck's sake, if everybody's doing in-house shit, give us the good in-house shit, right?
Yes. Thank you, because you put it in one sentence for me. If this is the way you guys are gonna be, then give me the good in-house shit, the good shit. All right. Now you guys have got Angelo Leo with the WBO at what is that? 122? 122? Anybody know Angelo Leo, newly crowned WBO champion?
Yeah, I'm out of my depth.
I said yes 3 times, but I was muted. Yes.
All right, Angelo Leo, you got that guy, and you've got a lot of guys. Casemiro's talking about going up there for, I think he said Luis Neri. So 122 is about to be a PBC division in a nutshell. It's about to be a PBC division. They're all converging in that weight class.
Wait, so Casemiro's vacating his belt?
That's what he's talking about. He said Inouye doesn't want it, and he's a coward, a bunch of bullshit. He's going up to fight Neri.
Can I say one thing on the Inouye situation? Casemiro's team pulled out of the Inouye fight first. I just want people to understand that.
I know. I'm gonna do a video on that. That's why I don't even want to. And
you know what? PBC still got old ass Rigo over there to feed to him too if they want to. Huh?
Bro, Rigo is going to end up on a highlight reel. I just know it.
Yeah, he's 56 years old. He's older than me.
Somebody's gonna knock him the fuck out.
I love Rigo. You know what I mean? But I completely.
The leather goblin, yeah.
Let me do this to Lennox. I got yeah, because Lennox loves Cuban fighters, bro. He loves them.
So do I.
Rigo, Lennox. Rigo gonna get knocked out, dog. He gonna get stretched, bro. There goes the Cuban.
Well, by who? By who though? Like Neri?
It could be Neri. It could be Neri.
They're not in the same weight division. Neri moved up to 122 and Rigo's moved down to 118.
But they can move Rigo.
Do you think Rigo's gonna stay there?
They can move Rigo back up easy.
Yeah, like Rigo's not gonna stay there.
We'll see.
That's not gonna look. If Casemiro vacates the WBO, right? In all likelihood, a top-ranked fighter. I got to look at the ranks, but I think a top-ranked fighter is likely gonna pick it up. We get our unification match. That's why I'm not even worried about Casemiro. I'm not. Go ahead, bro. Get out of here. You ain't. Go ahead. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Julius.
What happened?
You know what I'd really like? I'd really like, and I'd probably favor the young guy, but I think this is more up in the air in terms of what happens. Rigo Casemiro. I like that. I like that.
Casemiro's aggressive. He's young. He can.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's what you need for a guy like Rigo.
Look, Rigo couldn't contain a 37-year-old Liborio Solis clean. You know.
Like what did I say? I said I'd favor the young guy, but that's a good mix. Neri, I think, is going to be too much. Is going to stretch him out. Rigo is going to be the underdog, but I think he might be able to beat Casemiro.
By the way, I want to say this real fast. The number 1 ranked in the WBO right now is Maloney.
No, hang on, Mark. You got to come on. Just go ahead and tell me I'm a retard for thinking.
Oh, Maloney. That's good. That means
and then it's Plania.
My guy Bob is not far behind. If you hear Australia, that's Australian for Bob. Well, if you hear Maloney, that's Australian for Bob.
But also Maloney's last fight was actually was on the top ranked card against Plania. Them two are ranked 1 and 2. Let me just go with this real quick.
Go ahead, Mark.
If Casemiro vacates to Isn't Inoue versus Maloney scheduled next for Inoue? That could actually be for that 3-belt title.
He's gonna beat the shit out of Maloney.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me respond. I gotta respond to someone in the chat section. I know Rigo is 156 years old. I got him over Brandon fucking Figueroa.
Oh yeah.
All day, every day. All day, every day.
I thought Duck was gonna join in the Cuban slander that's ever so
No,
often coming on this channel.
No. I'm a Cuban apologist.
Wait, Doc,
I love the Cubans.
No. I've got to say this. Lennox, Brandon Figueroa is too much for Guillermo Rigondeaux. He's too much.
Too much fat? Too much what? Too much what?
Wait, I said Brandon.
Julius, you better stop that. You better stop that.
What? I don't care about either Figueroa brother. Fuck those guys.
The only Figueroa that matters is their sister.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. You beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
And that velour suit. No, but I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, let's say it was Figueroa versus Rigondeaux next. I got Rigondeaux, man.
Thank you.
He'd knock that kid's block off. Like, I have no doubt. That dude.
Yo, you type in Omar Figueroa, the first thing that comes up in the searches is his sister. That's great.
Either Figueroa.
That's messed up. But yeah, like, dog, he ain't
not
got
even box rec, bro. Not even like Omar Figueroa box rec. It just goes Omar Figueroa predicted search sister. That's fantastic. Shout out to the boxing
even worse. Omar is even worse than Brandon, though. Omar ate his way to what? Welterweight? What is he doing in the ring with Ugas? Why is he in the ring?
No. Let's be fair.
He fucking trained himself for that fight. Got beat.
It was more thing. It's not that he was at welterweight, because to me it looked about time for him to move up. It looked like, well, you ain't doing shit else. You might as well.
No. Hang on, Julius. He was doing a lot of eating. He's doing a lot of eating.
I'm saying he trained himself.
Carnitas way.
He trained himself, like, bro.
If by training you mean going to the taco truck every fucking 3 hours.
Chalupas.
Come on,
Chalupas, carnitas, corona.
This is not the fighter to train yourself.
Omar Figueroa. Omar Figueroa. Wasn't it? When he fought the Japanese cat, right? Where they both threw 1,000 fucking punches.
Yeah.
What weight was that?
That was 140. That wasn't welterweight. That was 140.
That was 140.
And he was fat. He looked fat at that weight.
If we're being honest, he looked soft in the body with Guerrero. He looked soft he looked like a little, like a chubby kid that's slimming down.
Dude,
he's got
dude, his weight is like his realistic weight is like 130, 135. He got no business above that.
No, he's really, I would say, the ideal weight for Brandon, if he were committed, prime Brandon, like prime Broner, is 140.
No, Omar. I'm talking Omar. Sorry,
Omar. Yeah, I'm bugging. Omar. These Figueroas, man.
Yeah, I know.
Prime Omar, or the best Omar, I would say the best weight for him really is 140. I don't think he's got enough punch at 147 to really do something there.
But he's fat. He's fat at 140 even, bro.
Are we really talking about prime Omar Figueroa?
Yes.
He's a hell of a fighter. You can't overlook him.
Julius, you better stop that.
Did you see what Ugas did to him?
I told look. I told, and I don't know, like, why. I don't know why anybody would have picked Omar in that fight. I don't know what people were thinking. Like, bro, he beat the shit out of Robert Guerrero. Cool. This is Ugas, though. Is Ugas anything like Robert Guerrero? And what was Guerrero?
And Ugas, who arguably beat Porter.
That was the ghost of Robert Guerrero.
Yeah. He's a shot fighter, Guerrero.
Like, I would say his best win is probably Ricky Burns. To be honest, I'd say Ricky Burns is his best win.
Poor Robert. And
Irakawa, that's the Japanese cat I'm thinking of. Irakawa, where he threw.
Yeah, he beat him for the interim, and then he got elevated, didn't he? Beat him for the interim, and then he got elevated when he fought Jerry Belmontes.
There you go.
How does everyone feel about this whole thing of speaking of ghosts, digging up old fighters that hadn't had fights in like 5-6 years to get beat up.
Shout out to Sergio Garcia.
Well, not even Sergio.
Hang on, shout out to the Gravedigger.
Martinez?
I know what
This
you're
is
talking.
this is a long time. This is a long time boxing tradition that's been going on since the beginning of this.
Nah, but fam, you seen Hrgovic? You seen Hrgovic's opponent?
Oh yeah, Hrgovic's opponent. That's bad, bro. That is bad. That is a bomb from 6 years ago.
Okay,
Daniel Dubois lost like 3 opponents, fam.
Moto was undefeated.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
He had a draw with a dude who fought Golovkin at 160 and got knocked out in 3 rounds.
What? Wait, what?
Wow.
Who? What?
Anyway, I wanna do something real fast, right? So Filip Hrgovic's next opponent. Has anybody ever heard of Andrej Paja?
No.
Okay, so he's a Czech Republic boxer, right? And the last time he fought was in 2014, getting knocked out in 3 rounds versus David Price.
6 years ago, yep.
Nice.
I saw that.
Why are they letting them fight?
Damn, that is.
You know
that is,
I didn't. Let me tell you something. I didn't think it could get worse than Alex Lepai. I honestly didn't think it could get worse than that. Like Parker fought Lepai, and I'm like, all right, these guys.
Well,
these guys are bugging out. Like, really, dog? Lepai? This is worse than that.
Gentlemen, here's one for you. Here's one for
you.
you. 8 years ago, this man got knocked out in round 9 against Konstantin Ulrich.
What the fuck?
Where'd they find this guy?
What is happening?
For anyone who doesn't know who Konstantin Ulrich is, right? Konstantin Ulrich fought Anthony Joshua in Joshua's 8th fight.
Bro, why are they putting? I don't understand. Like, what is the point of this fight?
We've lost.
Now, fam, but it's not even.
They're
especially,
on a bomb squad protection plan.
Hang on. Especially at heavyweight, we have completely lost. There is no longer proper journeyman. You've either got legitimate contenders or guys that, like I was saying earlier, your WWF mullet fat jobber that's already in the ring. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm gonna say this.
Listen, I'm gonna bring up a name that probably only Mark is gonna know. A guy that fought out of my area here, out in the Pacific Northwest, Boone Kirkman, was a proper journeyman. Mark, I knew you'd know. Where's our Boone Kirkmans? Guys,
hold on. This is what I'm gonna say. Matchroom can easily make I don't know, Hrgovic versus Lepai. I would have took that over this.
Yeah, but these are not Matchroom cards. They were specifically Eddie.
This is Sauerland.
Yeah, this is Sauerland's. But here's my thing. Yeah, I've been watching I watched that terrible Frank card on Saturday, and I'm thinking after seeing Dubois' opponent, and then just like looking at Dubois, because on behalf of Beats, me and Julius got a little wager going. Yeah. So man's been watching this Dubois thing, and I'm thinking, Frank's been digging up a lot. It's a matter of time till someone gets killed in the ring on a Frank show, because a lot of these opponents, a lot of these guys shouldn't be there, fam. Like honestly,
this is what I'm trying to say.
Find them around the street.
This is what I'm saying. There's no journeyman Lennox. There's no.
No. You can't say that. You can't say this.
Fam, the guy that Dubois fought, the guy was pissing himself before the bell rang.
Yeah, he was pissing himself before he got off the plane.
Like, he just had no business being there. Like, I would have rather seen him pull the thing that the F.A. Jagba opponent pulled the other time. When F.A. Jagba had an opponent just walked away.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm going to say this right now. You know that dude who walked away, Curtis Harper, right? I guarantee you he knocks out Daniel Dubois' opponent. Harper's not a terrible, terrible fighter. He's actually okay-ish.
Oh, the last guy, Snyder's? Yeah, he probably does.
Nah, but my thing is, like, I'm not, and this is not just about the last opponent. I saw it with Hrgovic, so it didn't seem like man's just out here taking the piss at Frank, yeah? But, like, I've just been looking at, and honestly, Frank's heavily guilty of this, but I'm like, it's only a matter of time till someone gets seriously hurt in one of these cards, because they had no business being there. And it's, and Julius, hang on, Lango. Julius, the outrage about the girl that got knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm like, this was, a lot of these opponents are just that bad, but you don't see the outrage about, she shouldn't have been there. I'm like, a lot of these lads shouldn't be there in the first place.
This is what I'm trying to say. We've lost this middle ground group of fighters that we used to call journeymen. Your Randall Tex Cobbs, your Boone Kirkmans. Mark knows who I'm fucking talking about, right? Do you, Mark?
The dude who fought against Ronnie Loyal and Ken Norton.
Yes, exactly. Boone Kirkland fought out of Seattle here, right? He was a proper journeyman. Go look up his record. He lost at the highest
Fam,
level.
Kingpin Johnson's still around.
Yeah, man.
Look, there is a few.
Pedro
Listen,
Augusto.
listen. There is a few, Doc. There is a few. You've got Dominic Gwynn still around and shit like that. You got Jonathan Royce there. Like there is actually solid
but they gotta be
journeymen.
Okay. Then they need to be utilized as what they are instead of.
I agree.
We need these guys in against journeymen, not against WWF fat mullet jobbers. All right.
Well, the problem with it is that bothers me is a lot of these prospects are really soft. Like Junior Fa, he was in there with fucking Dominic Gwynn. Dominic Gwynn dropped them, bro.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
that's why you got to have those fights. That's
Yeah,
why
you know what? I'm a bit worried about Tony Yoka in that sense too, because I'm seeing the opponents he turned down. I found out he turned down a Bacoli fight, and I'm thinking, I don't know. I still got that image of him getting cleaned out by Savon in the Olympics.
No, we're not going to slander Yoka. We're not going to slander Yoka.
Yes, we absolutely are.
No, we're not. No, we're
Yes,
not.
we are.
It would be
Come on,
like
Johnny.
Julius.
Come on,
I gotta say, bro. It would be like if George Foreman had said, "I ain't fighting no Pedro Augusto."
Oh, look. I know that Yoka's not the most durable prospect out there. I understand that. But what I also understand is Bacoli is an interesting enough guy, and given where Yoka is right now, when's the last time he had a fight? Because he's fighting Dubois, and I'll take that. That makes sense to me, and Dubois is. Dubois is the kind of journeyman, right, that you would want to see Hrgovic fight in this situation.
Yes.
You have to say that Dubois is at least better than the guy that Philippe is fighting, and it's a good domestic level fight between two known guys in Le France. So I'll take that. You're not going to slander my guy. All right, you're sitting here trying to sell me these fucking boring Lara fights. Lara versus whatever fuck.
Oh, did I find the button? Yeah, I found the button.
I knew the Lara slander was coming.
Yeah.
What do you guys consider the best heavyweight prospect?
Tony fucking Yoka. That's Tony fucking Yoka.
Nah, fam. Listen, fam. I'll go to Cuba and find Savon and have him go pro just to start him again.
We're talking about professional prospects.
Fam, Savon's a light heavyweight, fam. Savon's a light heavyweight, fam. He's not even a cruiserweight.
We can't look.
Lennox, what year was that, bro?
Listen, Mark, stay out of this, Mark. Mark, stay out
answer
of
my
this.
question.
Mark,
What year was it?
You're not involved. Leave this alone, Mark. Leave this
What
alone,
year
Mark.
was it?
Mark, this is between me and Julius. Stay out of this. Like I was saying,
Nearly
Julius,
a decade ago, bro.
Fam,
Tony Yoka was 53 pounds lighter back then, and he was
It
2
doesn't
inches
matter.
shorter
He
with
still
4
gets
inch
starched.
reach shorter.
Listen, fam, I'll find
He was
someone in
half the
La Finca
size
to
he is
starch him.
now.
It does not matter. I'll find someone in La Finca to starch him. Fuck it. I might just get.
Bro,
I might
Eric
just get
Pfeiffer
Luis.
beat him after that as well.
Fam, I'll get Luis Ortiz to do it.
Luis Ortiz.
Luis Ortiz has Frank Sanchez problems, bro.
Oh yeah, I'll get Frank Sanchez to do it. Fuck it. We'll get Frank Sanchez.
No,
I'm sorry. We'll get Frank Sanchez.
I like that fight. I like that Ortiz fight, actually. I hadn't even... I thought it's not going to happen, but I like that. That's a good fight. I don't care what anybody... That's a good fight.
Luis Ortiz needs to get a new pacemaker before he has a fight.
Yeah, okay, but it's still a good fight, Mark.
I wouldn't pick Ortiz in that, but
I
I'm
didn't
taking the
say
piss,
that.
obviously.
I did not. Hang on. I didn't say. I just said that's a good fight. Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you think they're building like a Ruiz Ortiz fight? Like, what do they got for this guy?
That's a good fight too. I've been a big proponent. Give us Ruiz Ortiz. I think that does decent viewership in North America.
I don't
want to see that.
I don't. If I'm being honest, right? You saw the pay-per-view buys for, well, at least the reported
Oh,
numbers.
whoa, not pay. I'm not saying make it.
Well, you don't think, Doc? You think they're gonna give us that fight for free?
I'm talking about what I advocate. I'm not saying what they're
I'm
gonna do.
asking you. You think they're gonna give us Ruiz?
No, probably not. They're probably gonna fuck us in the ass. I get you. I'm just saying the fight itself, I'm a proponent of, and if it was on free TV, I think it does good numbers.
If it's on free TV, I think that's a good night of boxing. If it's free TV,
yes.
If you want $80 for that fucking fight,
fuck you.
Wait a minute,
I'm right there with you. Fuck. I'll say it first. Fuck you, PBC.
A guy who didn't bother to train. A guy who didn't bother to train in defense of his world titles against a guy who gets his prostate checked more often than any other active fighter.
Yeah, my man's 56 years old. Come on.
Honestly, so yeah, you know what? Back to the conversation about marquee value and purses. Yeah. Hang on. I got a question.
Let him
I'm
go.
not changing the subject. I'm not changing the subject. What are the chances? Yeah, Julius. Do you think? What chances in hell do you think that Ruiz makes another payday than he did in 2018 or 2019?
No. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. No, seriously, it's over. It's for that. As far as like huge paydays, it's over.
No, I mean 2 million. Not even that. Let's say a small. Let's call it.
No. Wait. To answer the question, can Ruiz get 2? I think he can get 2. I do. But as far as 5, 6, and 7, no, he don't get.
Yeah,
that.
They're not paying. They're not going to pay him that for Ortiz.
He won't get that. He won't get that.
Two, somewhere like 1 to 2. But I mean, I don't even know why we're talking about.
What if Wilder knocks out
Fury?
What if Wilder fights Fury and knocks him out, and he fights Wilder?
Who?
All right. Now you're talking. If he fights Wilder, I could see a guarantee of 4 to 5 for a pay-per-view. Yeah. I could see that. Wilder will likely get, I don't know, maybe 10, 15.
Oh, Wilder coming off a knockout of Fury, hypothetically? Is that what
maybe? I mean, yes. Maybe, because Wilder's taking a cut for this fight, so the guarantee's not going to be 30. That much we know, because he's taking a cut since he exercised the rematch clause. I could see Wilder getting, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 mil guaranteed. Maybe Ruiz gets 5. Maybe
Wilder would fight him.
I think Wilder Ruiz. I think anything with Ruiz in North America that's a title fight is going to do pretty damn good fucking numbers.
It's possible. It's because he's got the Mexican fans.
Yes, and the Hispanic. I'm not trying to. It's just a reality. The Hispanic boxing fan is what moves. That's what moves the meter in North America right now.
Well, not Ronnie. Let me address this. Ronnie, right? I can't agree with that because Areola is coming off a loss to Adam Kovnowski, who just got his block knocked off by Robert Helenius. That's where Areola's at. You understand?
Who got his head knocked off by Gerald Washington.
And that's where Areola's at, bro.
Okay. Now I'm going to set this up for Lennox here. Let's everybody be honest. Put your bias aside. What is the better fight? Ruiz versus Areola or Ruiz versus Ortiz?
Ruiz Ortiz.
Areola. No, because Andy Ruiz has titties and Areola is the surrounding surface of a nipple.
Oh my God.
His name's Areola.
But seriously, okay. So Julius, we agree. The Ortiz Ruiz would be where it's at.
How do you see that fight, Doc?
I don't know. That's why I want to see it. I mean, Mike, I've been an Ortiz fan. I'm gonna ride with my dude, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm 100%
He doesn't get his block knocked off.
All I'm gonna say is I'm riding with Ortiz, but I'm not 100% confident that he wins that fight. That's why I want to see it.
If I'm being honest, right? All right, let's say COVID blows over, there's vaccines, we're all outside, we're getting naked, it's great stuff. Crowds come back to boxing. You got yourself an Ortiz versus Ruiz fight, let's say 6 months from now.
In Texas. Put it in Texas.
or South California, or South Cal.
Either one. Fair enough.
Put it in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Does Ortiz have the legs? Because that's what it's going to take. Legs and straight punches. Legs and straight punches.
He's got number 2. He's got number 2 for sure. I'm confident he's got number 2.
I don't know if he's got the legs for this guy.
Can I ask a question?
Is he going to have the legs in enough rounds? Because Ortiz can do a round here, a round there. You know what I mean? But he can't do 12 rounds straight on his toes.
And remember, Doc, remember, he's with Eddie Reynoso now. Clenbo Stakes.
Well, now, hey! Wait, who's with Reynoso?
Motherfucking Ruiz, man.
Oh shit! He might be able to cut the ring now.
Can I ask a question real fast?
Ruiz.
What would y'all put the under/over on either Areola or Ruiz, or Ortiz versus Ruiz? The under/over on a heart attack.
Oh god!
Oh my god!
I'm deadly serious because I would place a bet on. I would place a bet on angina.
I'll tell you what. Hang on. I'll tell you what. As old as Ortiz is, I've got money. I would put my money on Areola dying in the ring. We're talking that.
This is
bro. Chris Areola's too nice.
Hang on, guys. It's sometimes. It's in life. It's not just the years. It's the mileage. All right. Areola got way more mileage than my 57-year-old dude Ortiz.
That's true.
Mileage. You got to understand the mileage. My fucking hero, Muhammad Ali. My hero, Muhammad Ali. Right. It wasn't the fucking years. It was the mileage.
Listen to this. While Chris Areola was getting pounded like a labia by the Klitschko, Ortiz was fighting fucking cruiserweights. Blown up cruiserweight.
Thank you. Exactly.
Areola has significant mileage on the odometer. So if anybody's going out in the box, it's Chris. But this is a morbid conversation.
There we go. See? Julius is on my side.
Morbid conversation to be having. And I think, if I'm being honest, I think that it is appalling that a former unified heavyweight champion, who was a former unified heavyweight champion not that long ago, is supposed to be fighting the likes of Chris Areola. Yo, get this guy somebody else, bro. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, Ortiz is a better fight. Would you agree, Julius? As much as you
it is, but remember, Ruiz didn't want it. Ruiz said he wanted a tune-up fight. Ortiz said, I want the fight, no tune-up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man.
Ruiz wants to tune-up.
Julius, I posted
Ruiz wants a few months of those clenbuterol stakes.
I think so.
Julius, I posted something in the private chat. You need to have a look at that, right? Okay. I want you, for anyone who doesn't know, Luis Ortiz been around a very long fucking time.
You talking about the YouTube link?
Yes.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna go to there.
I already said he's 57 years old.
He's been around forever, bro. You've no idea what type of fights he's had. I've got legit proof.
All right, hold on. Taking a while to load. All right, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, for God! I knew you were gonna do this. Jeez. I knew you were gonna. Hold on. Let me show these guys. I knew you were gonna do this. I saw this earlier this week.
For anyone who doesn't know what we're watching here, we're currently watching Luis Ortiz versus Pernell Whitaker in the Olympics.
Yeah, man. There's Ortiz. He was light-skinned in those days.
Yeah, he was light-skinned and he was orthodox, bro.
Different times.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Luis Ortiz fought against Pernell Whitaker in the Olympics.
Because that's how fucking old he is. But if I'm being serious, yeah, the Ortiz fight is a better fight. They tried to make it, or at least Ortiz wanted it. That this was months ago before COVID shut everything down. And apparently Ruiz wanted a tune-up, and Ortiz didn't. Ortiz was with it. He was ready to go into that fight off the loss to Wilder. It was Ruiz that wanted to go the other way. The same with Dillian Whyte. It was Ruiz that wanted to go the other way. If you want to knock him for it, you can. But just remember, he was between trainers and he was coming off a loss. With Whyte, I understand a little more, but with Ortiz, not so much. Ortiz is coming off a loss, bro. And he's older than you. He just got knocked the fuck out. You don't want to fight this guy?
I don't give a shit about either of those fights. I'll tell you the fight I want to see Andy Ruiz in next, right? I get to make the matches since we're having Ortiz. I want to see Wilder leave it alone, and I want to see Wilder versus fucking Ruiz, man. That's what I want to see. Two former champions get it on.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I guess.
I ain't mad at that either.
Oh my god, y'all are here fucking discussing like Prime Figueroa, but I guess Wilder versus Ruiz.
Do you know why, Mark? Do you know why, Mark?
It's because you're American and you're privileged.
No, it's because that implies that after Fury beats this man, if he beats this man, that he's still around. I don't want him to be around. I want him to retire.
No. I didn't say that. What I said is I want him to put. No, hold on.
Mark,
I want them to.
Mark,
No,
Mark, I'll
I
let you
said
go.
something specific, and he contradicted the entire point.
Go
I
ahead.
said
Go
I
ahead.
want Wilder to pull out of the Fury fight, and them two get it on.
Okay.
Now let me interject my one. I'm going to disagree with you, Julius. No, because as a heavyweight boxing fan, look, we're being specific today, right? I'm going to be very specific and careful about how I choose my words here.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Deontay Wilder, I have said for about 3 or 4 years now, is the relative Ernie Shavers of his era.
No.
Of his. Okay, then who is? If it's not him, then who?
There's no relatives.
No.
No, well, then you can't. No. See, you can't just say. Oh,
Nah,
you're not
bro,
allowed to
that's
use
in an
it.
ancient
No,
Indian
stop,
burial ground.
Stop!
We ain't having
Fuck you! You don't get to tell me I don't get to use the word relative.
I'm gonna say this. Doc.
Let me
Deontay Wilder. Wait. Deontay Wilder couldn't touch Larry Holmes in a phone booth.
What did I say?
Relative.
Okay, meaning I'm not saying he hits like Ernie Shavers.
I'm gonna tell you something, Doc.
I'm saying compared to his peers.
Deontay Wilder is the American David Price. Hang on.
Ooh.
The American David Price.
Okay. You know what? Even accepting that, even if I accept what you just said, I don't want him to go away because he's an entertaining heavyweight puncher. You don't know what's going to happen.
Can we make a deal, Doc? Can we make a deal, Doc? I'll make a deal.
Possibly.
I'll make a deal. Here's the deal.
Wilder
stays, all right? He stays.
Oh, yes.
He doesn't get a belt. As long as he doesn't have a belt, he can stay. If he gets a belt, he's got to go.
Did Ernie Shavers ever have a fucking belt?
No, he didn't.
All right then. No problem.
Did David Price ever have a belt?
Nope. No problem. No problem with me. I'm saying I don't want him. I don't want him to just. Keep that puncher around. He's gonna be entertaining.
But is he gonna fight?
Draw?
Doc. Let's say he doesn't have a belt, right? Let's say he doesn't have a belt.
Right.
He lost it already, and all of that is settled.
Right.
Do you think he takes on challenging fights?
I don't know. That's a separate discussion.
What
Doc,
if
Hang on. We're talking about throwing a guy overboard after what? 2 losses?
Not because he lost. No, wait, Doc.
No. I'm not saying. I know it's not because. I'm just pointing out. He's only if he loses to Fury again, that'll be 2 L's on his record, 1 draw. Why? Hang on. Oh, 999. I'm not done. Why are we throwing a guy overboard that is fucking entertaining? He's an entertaining puncher.
All right.
Is he a flawed boxer? Absolutely.
Because he's a hold up on the division and a waste of fucking time for everything happening and wasted 6 years of our lives.
That's a separate fucking discussion.
Let's have a bit, Doc, can we have a bit of parliamentary procedure?
Yes, let's go ahead.
All right, hang on, yeah? All right, I see your point with the Ernie Shavers thing, not saying I agree. I see everything, right? But
did you hear?
hang on.
He's not Ernie Shavers.
Let him go,
fam, Doc. I said parliamentary procedure.
Yeah,
we're on the same way, like, fam. Just breathe, Doc. Breathe, right? I've never seen someone who's not a Wilder fan get this fired up defending Wilder. This is amazing. But
that's why I'm here.
My point is, like, all these, he'd be good if he was bringing anything to the division, which honestly, you give him a lot more credit than I do. Well, he's not bringing anything. And then this is under the assumption that, okay, if I'm going to, just for the sake of argument, agree with you that he's this amazing puncher, yeah? But for him to make it interesting means that he'd still have to get in there with interesting opposition, which we all can agree it's not going to happen. Nope. And if he fights again, that's a big if, and after he loses again. So in that case, if he's not in there in the mix to cause chaos,
right?
What's the use of having him about?
Okay. Who are we talking about him fighting? To say he gets stopped again by Fury.
It's my turn. My turn.
It's your channel. Your turn. Go ahead.
All right.
Just a bit of parliamentary procedure. That's all.
All right. What fight is Wilder not going to have? I'll tell you what fights. Wilder versus Hrgovic, forget it. Wilder versus Yoka, forget it. Wilder versus Arslanbek Makhmudov, forget it.
Okay, Julius, give me realistic. What you think are the realistic possibilities?
Fight the PB. Look, we're gonna get. I'll tell you what we're gonna get. We're gonna get Gerald Washington. We're gonna get Gerald Washington 2 and 3.
Okay, fuck that. Fuck that. We don't want that.
We're gonna get Wilder versus Charles Martin.
I'm telling you.
Hang on. Time out. I will watch.
Do you think he beats Charles Martin though?
I don't know. I'll watch it though. I'm watching that shit. I think he knocks Charles Martin the fuck out.
Do I?
I don't think so.
I'm not paying. I'm not gonna pay pay-per-view.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No, I'm streaming that shit. I'm streaming.
The former WBC versus the former IBF. That's what they're gonna sell to you as. He's a former champion.
We all know that's not. That shouldn't be pay-per-view. If that's a free TV fight, come on. You're not gonna watch that.
Well, to be honest, he has no problem fighting people from the PBC. I want to see him fight decent competition that's not PBC.
Yeah,
because
I'm not
all his epic knockouts are from there.
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying Wilder versus Charles Martin on free TV, I'll watch that. Wilder versus Sanchez on free TV, I'll watch that. That's entertaining.
You know what?
Okay, but can I say something?
Your point.
Can I say something real fast?
Okay, go ahead.
We ain't gonna get him versus Joseph Parker. No. Right? Him and Ruiz is a very unlikely thing to have happen. He's not gonna. Let me go. He's not gonna fight Oscar Rivas. Him and Joshua ain't happening. Him and Whyte ain't happening. Him and Povetkin ain't happening. We don't need the Ortiz 3 fight. No one cares about the Pulev shit. All the prospects ain't happening. Best case scenario, your best case fight is Frank Sanchez and Charles Martin. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. Okay, and I will. That's where we disagree. I will watch that shit. Go ahead, Leonard. Sorry.
All right, Doc. All I was going to say in your defense is that I did watch the Frank Warren card this weekend, which means that I would watch it on free TV.
It's for sure. Those two fights are way better than that Dubois versus the mullet WWF jobber guy.
Yeah, I agree. You got a valid point. On free TV, I'd watch it.
I'll watch. Look, I'll watch Wilder.
Yes.
I'll watch him. No, listen. I'll watch him. The point isn't about wanting to watch. The point isn't about me watching. The point is about me wanting fights and knowing I'm not getting the ones that I want to watch the most. Like, yes, I'll sit down and watch that. But you can't ask me that. That's unfair. I'll sit down and watch 2 14 and 14 fighters in the middle of Lithuania at 5 o'clock in the evening and have a fight.
Hang on. We gotta get beats. We gotta get beats in here because
yo, fam, you triggered beats.
Yeah, I've triggered beats. I was very, very careful, beats, in my choice of words.
You've triggered me. I want your blood.
Come at me both. Come at me both of you. Bring it.
I just think Wilder.
I cannot believe I, of all people, am taking up for Deontay.
I just think
Get Beats in here. Beats. I want Beats in here right now so I can clarify this shit.
Drop the link, Julius.
I just think Wilder is an excellent.
The link.
Doc, take it. Doc, take a swig of whiskey. Take a swig of whiskey.
I'm on my Corona today, bro. I'm on my.
Okay,
Corona
take a swig of Corona. Chill back.
Definitely on
I got
time.
one in the freezer. I'm good. I'm good to go.
All right, now I'm going to say this. All right, this is what I'm going to say. I'm the captain of the ship. God damn it. All right, and what I want more than anything is Fury to beat Wilder, so Wilder can go away. That's what I want. I'm a boxing fan. I'm an American. I want Wilder to go away ASAP. He's held up this division long enough. I don't need him. I don't want to see him because I know he's not going to give me what I want.
Okay. I get where you're coming from in terms of context. I'm just saying, strictly as a fighter, I don't want him to go away. I want him to be in interesting fights because he can be very entertaining.
I'm going to ask Boxing Beats a question. I'm going to ask Boxing Beats a question.
Here we go. Beats is here. All right,
Beats.
Yo.
After Fury beats Wilder, if he beats him again, do you want Wilder to stay or do you want him to go away?
I'm not too fussed if he stays around. I'm not too fussed. But the shavers thing.
No, the Beats. You may not have heard me. I was very careful the way I worded this. Let me and Beats cook here, if you don't mind, Julius.
Good.
Right? I was very specific. I said he is relatively speaking. In other words, compared to his contemporaries, his generation, not compared to Larry Holmes, all right. Of this era of fighters amongst these heavyweights, he's the relative Ernie Shavers. I'm not saying he is as the puncher Ernie was or any of that. No, because Ernie fought a way higher level of competition. Obviously, I'm just saying this amongst this in my opinion, weak era of heavyweights. He's the Ernie. All right, which hey. In other words, if it weren't for all the belts that are floating around, he wouldn't even be a champion, in my opinion.
I'd say Povetkin minus the pigmentation was more Ernie Shavers than Deontay
Wilder. Jerry Quarry starts Ernie Shavers in one round. So yeah, I'm with you. Okay. And Quarry and Povetkin, are we gonna? That's not a bad equivalency. If you want to say if you want to say Povetkin knocks Wilder out in one round, okay, that's still entertainment for me.
Yeah, but Wilder hasn't really pushed himself. Like, obviously, Ernie didn't turn out. Now, let me let that. You had to run. All
right, go ahead. I gotta go get my next beer. Go ahead.
Ernie Shavers never turned down no competition. He fought everybody. Povetkin never turned down no competition. You can't compare Wilder on no level. Wilder has stayed in the confinements of Luis Ortiz and called him a killer at every stage.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm talking strictly as a fighter. I was only talking strictly as a fighter. Now, what fights he's going to...
Can I just say that my quote of the day is the confinements of Luis Ortiz?
Don't you guys think that is strange for a boxer to be so big, but he's fought no one? Literally no one.
Well, I mean, look. Wilder is a very unique character in boxing. That he's made it this long, skipping out on most of the interesting fights that two different eras of boxing have had to offer. Two different eras. His crowning achievement is a guy who has a thin resume. I want him to go. Nothing about his career tells me that post Fury 3, he's going to start having the fights that I've wanted him to fight.
That's and that's a separate. I'm not going to disagree with you on that, Julius. That, to me, maybe I compartmentalize things too much. I'll completely take that on board. Maybe I compartmentalize shit too much. I'm compartmentalizing the fighter from what you're talking about there. All right, and hang on, the Beats. I'm gonna feed you. Beats, I'm gonna feed you. All right, you talked about not turning things down. He didn't turn down the Roy Tiger Williams fight, right?
Nope.
They made him fight another guy after that, just for good measure. And when he fought Ali, put this all in perspective. When he fought Muhammad Ali in the Garden, Muhammad Ali said the acorn. He called him the acorn. The acorn must fall in the garden, right? When he fought Muhammad Ali, according to the announcers, when you watch that fight, the NBC feed, he was getting paid more than all of his previous fights, 50-something fights combined.
Hold on. Who's got that cracking sound, man?
It ain't me. It ain't me.
It ain't me, bro.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I don't know.
Whoever's got that cracking sound, mute your mic.
They gotta mute. Yeah. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, though, Julie. Let me just say this quickly. I don't really like if he loses again. He can stay on guard. He can do what he wants. I'm not even fussed.
Right, exactly. It's not a problem, is it, Beats? It's not a problem.
This is my thing. This is my thing. As long as he's around, that cult following and all the garbage that they've been spewing over the years, that will continue. That will continue.
Okay. Now, see, now you're
from that perspective, you make a point.
I see, and I stay the.
LDPC.
Let me give you
and I stay out. I make a point to avoid that, so I can see why that might go over my head, Julius. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
now
not
let me give you a perspective. Let me give you a perspective. All right. Gervonta Davis, right? Prime example. Gervonta Davis is supposed to be king shit for doing what, right? For 4 years now, they've told me that, he's too young. He can't fight Loma. He's too young. So he gets to fight Joe Blow and Patty Potato Salad. A guy younger than him is about to fight Vasyl Lomachenko with less fights, less pro experience, who's been a champion. Who's been a champion for far less time than Gervonta Davis.
And less amateur fights as well. But
amateur fights. And I've got to hold on. I'm making my point. And I've got to put up with hearing Gervonta Davis's idiot fans big him up. I don't want to deal with that anymore, bro. So if Fury beats this guy, please retire so your fans will go away. Because that's what I want to go away. Your fans.
Can I also say one other thing, bro? Here's for me. I was okay to some extent, and one of the main reasons I allowed Wilder to some extent get away with the poor opposition that he fought for so long was so that it could lead somewhere to where we get a massive fight. And we got the Fury one, which was solid. Most people wanted the Joshua fight, right? That's what most people wanted, yeah?
Yes, it's the truth.
Right? And I didn't get that. So I don't want to enter another series of Wilder fighting Charles Martin. And by the way, I would say Charles Martin, if he beat him, that'd be one of his top 3 wins in his entire fucking career.
Honestly, yes.
Again, my only pushback mark on that is as long as it isn't pay-per-view, I'm all for Charles Martin Wilder. Give it to me. I want to see Charles Martin get knocked the fuck out.
I'm going to tell you, Doc. I'll take Charles Martin versus Wilder on a Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m., FS1, free fight. That's good boxing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm fucking saying, bro.
But Doc, is that what they're going to do?
That's a separate, and what did I say? I said, I take on board, perhaps I over-compartmentalize shit, all right? Right? Maybe I over-compartmentalize,
Look,
that's what I'm... Hang on, but that's what I'm just...
Look, hold on. They want $80 from me and you and all these panelists. They want $80 for Davis versus Santa Cruz, bro.
You know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say.
Well, here's the other part of it, Doc. Here's the other part. I want you to think about this. Will Wilder accept anything less than $10 million a fight now that he's made $20 million back to back? So how else are they going to afford to pay him?
Fuck if I know and fuck if I care. All I'm saying is if it's Charles Martin and Wilder after he loses to Fury on free TV or Kawanaki and Wilder, I'm watching that shit.
All right,
it'll only be pay-per-view. It'll only be pay-per-view.
What did I say? I said I admit perhaps I over-compartmentalize things.
Let me give you a scenario. I'm going to give you a scenario, okay? Silence, everyone. I don't want to be interrupted. Silence. All right. Now let's say, all right, Andy Ruiz, he beats Areola. Let's say Wilder versus Helenius after Fury beats him again. Wilder versus Helenius. If Bambi beats the Nordic Nightmare in an IBF eliminator, then has one more eliminator with Andy Ruiz, right? Becomes the mandatory challenger to Anthony Joshua, he can stay. That's the only way he can stay.
I agree. Never happened.
Give it to me. Bring it to me, Julius. Give me those fights. If the
wait,
it's wishful thinking.
TV, I'm on it.
But wait, see, but he's too lazy to go for a schedule like that. That's never going to happen.
And that in beats, you could very well be right. Well be right. This is what I'm saying when I talk about I compartmentalize things. I'm strictly talking about, if what Julius says, if he fights the Nordic Nightmare on free TV and fights what was the other guy you said?
If Ruiz,
and then Andy Ruiz, right?
Yeah, Ruiz makes it through Areola. Wilder makes it through the Nordic Nightmare.
I like it. I love it.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Me too.
What I've learned.
That's the kind of thing. That is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I'm not.
What I've learned is.
I want to ask, You know what? I want to ask something quick, right? I want to ask something real quick, yeah. So you see, before Wilder fought for the vacant title, when he was fighting like 200 in the world, 300 in the world, 400 in the world, all that, how did he even get the chance to even get the title shot in the first place?
Fam, have you seen Dubois' rating on the WBO recently?
Yeah, but hold on. Wait, let me do this. It doesn't mean anything. You know why? Frank's not gonna let that happen. Let's be honest, bro. You think he's gonna send Dubois over there to match?
No. Listen. No, what I was saying was he was asking how Wilder got to this thing, and I said, listen, it was a WBC belt. All I'm trying to say is it depends on who the promoter's in bed with, and you know what I mean. It's all about checks getting signed and cashed.
True.
Moves you getting a vacant belt is more about maneuvering than anything.
Can we say that Wilder has a Jaime Munguia resume?
That's disrespectful to Jaime Munguia.
He was a Golden Boy fighter for a time. That's all I'm saying. Golden Boy has their role in that too. They do.
Yeah. I get you.
Shelley takes most of the blame for that. I say that if anybody navigated Wilder's career this way, it was Shelley. But Golden Boy has a role to play in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at Jaime's resume.
Absolutely. Now, what I'm learning from here is that Doc is the consummate optimist about all things boxing.
What?
Because Doc seems quite optimistic about these possibilities.
No, Doc is the what?
Doc is being a contrarian. I don't know how optimistic that is. But
you're saying Doc is Doc is ever the contrarian, man. He's not ever the optimist.
Where I want Wilder to leave, Doc is playing devil's advocate and saying no, Wilder should stay because he's entertaining. And I don't. If I'm being honest, there is entertainment value to Wilder in the sense that I really would love to see more guys do to him what Fury did. I want to see more guys do that to him. But I know that he's not going to fight those guys. So since you're not going to fight those guys, go away. That's it. Get out of here. You're not going to fight.
You guys hear me?
Okay. Yeah, no, look. If he's not going to fight the Charles Martins and the Andy Ruizes like we're talking about, right? Or even the Sanchezes, or I know he left. Oh God, what's my name? Ajagba that just left for Top Rank. I know he's in Top Rank now, but those kind of guys. I get it. If he's gonna be fighting guys like what Dubois just fought, yeah. Get the fuck off my fucking.
Wilder versus Lardy, Showtime box office pay-per-view, $80.
Exactly. I don't have enough middle fingers.
And maybe he can turn into a gatekeeper or something. Maybe he can turn into a gatekeeper and just. I don't know, but he might fuck around and maybe fight Chisora. I wouldn't mind that fight.
I love that fight. I love Chisora versus Wilder. Please, yes. Give it to me. Hang on. Who on the panel right now would not watch on free TV Chisora versus Wilder?
All of us, because it'll never happen.
I didn't ask you that. That's not the question. That's not the question.
Bro. No. At some point, the hypothetical scenario has to have a basis in reality. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm captaining the ship.
Yep, you are.
The reason I don't go for that is because Chisora is a handful. He's got a handful of losses. He doesn't give a shit. He's coming here to fuck you up. That's the exact kind of guy that Wilder avoided for years. You think he's going to fight him now? And he's going to want an arm and a leg to do it. That's the other.
He's not gonna. But But Julius, if he's gonna continue after a hypothetical, we're all assuming, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I think Fury beats Wilder in the third fight. Assuming that happens, is Wilder gonna have a choice? Hang on.
Wait. Look at the infrastructure. What does Wilder stand to make for this Fury fight?
I get all that. What I'm trying to say is, if we're gonna assume that he continues, he's gonna have to take those kind of fights. Or what the fuck?
Nah. They'll do to Wilder what they're doing to Lara. They'll give him a WBA and a Continental, and have him fight, fucking Shondell Winters. You think they won't? They won't. Right? They won't do that.
They won't even give us Babbage. So they won't even give us Babbage, huh? They won't even give us Wilder versus Babbage.
Look. You see the proliferation of WBA subsidiary belts on that side of the street. He's going to get the WBA Tuscaloosa belt. Yeah. The WBA Tuscaloosa belt. He's going to fight exclusively in Tuscaloosa. They're going to build an arena under his house. This is what we're looking at Wilder.
You know what? It's funny you say that. It's funny that you say that because a long time ago, I said, you'll get what I'm saying. A long time ago, I said that's basically what they should have been doing with him from the beginning. Build him in that SEC, SEC football conference area. Build him up in that area. Build him up in Alabama, the Floridas, etc. Yeah, but it's late now. Point is, if he beats Fury, his options are going to be retire or start fighting guys like Andy Ruiz, Charles Martin, etc. In my opinion, that's where I'm coming from with it.
You know what I hate is that I don't want to see if he's not fighting Andy Ruiz, I don't want to see this PBC diet anymore. I just want to see him step out of the PBC and try and fight people elsewhere. And
whatever, as long as he's not fighting fucking guys like what Dubois just fought. If he's fighting guys like what Dubois just fought, then I agree. Get him the fuck off my fucking screen. I agree then.
Why would you even be waiting for him to do any different? Like, to me, his career is over.
Because the position that.
Like,
go ahead.
Like, his career is defined by Tyson Fury right now. Is he going to fight Tyson Fury? Like, they're talking that he's trying to bring, concrete evidence himself, whether Fury cheated or not. Is that fight going to happen? So,
we're assuming.
I haven't got no prospects for that guy at all. None at all.
And I agree. I agree. If that's going to be the case, then yeah, get him the fuck out of here. But if he loses to Fury, to me, my thinking is this: he ain't going to have a choice. It's either going to be you're going to have to fight the likes of a Charles Martin and a Kawanaki and Andy Ruiz, etc., or what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and heard this right, so.
Or Chisora. I love the idea of Chisora Wilder. That's a fantastic fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, do you want to know why it's fantastic? Because it will never happen.
Pretty much.
LDBC are claiming that he's going to come out with evidence that Fury cheated. So my thing is
then why would there be a fight?
All right, Doc, you got to give these guys a chance to talk. You're screaming over them.
You're right. Okay.
So they're saying that he's going to come out with evidence, right? So my thing is this, but he still wants the third fight. So my thing is this, yeah. Are you going to take the third fight, get beaten, and then say, oh, but I've got evidence that he's cheated? Like, I'm trying to understand what order he's trying to do these things in.
Well, let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest. Look, right? If Wilder and this is why I want him to go away, so that this can go away. Mm-hmm. There is no evidence, bro. If you had conclusive and finite evidence that there was foul play at work during the second fight, You would have used it to get the loss overturned and get the WBC title returned to you. You would have subsequently sued for damages. It's like it's not hard to put together. You went to court with Povetkin for a fight you didn't even have to fight for the purse that you would have made.
He could have sued him for attempted murder, Julius.
Yeah, but you catch my drift. That if you actually had anything that could have been used in a court of law to get this all reversed, you would have did that. You have no evidence. You're going through with a fight against the guy that your fans think tried to kill you. They're just riding that wave because they don't have that many more options anymore. Like they don't have options anymore. You have to have the third. You have to have the third Fury fight. You don't have nowhere else to go.
Right. See, all that stuff all that nonsense that you just talked about, that I completely agree. I want that to go the fuck away.
Here's the thing, though. Yeah, if he does come out and say he's got evidence, or he's gonna be like trying to tell us there's explanation for why Fury won, the third fight is dead. They can't let it go ahead. There's no way one boxer can accuse another boxer of foul play and they go ahead and fight. There'll have to be investigation. But it's not like it's one of the LDBC channels talking. This is Wilder himself. So the third fight will be literally dead if he comes out and says anything.
Exactly. I agree completely with that.
So is that a way of trying to get out of the fight, perhaps?
They're using this as if they're doing anything with this allegation, they're using it as controversy to fuel the third fight, because in all actuality, there's nothing more to see here. You guys fought 2 times and you haven't beat him yet. You fought 2 times. You haven't beat him yet. What else is the selling point? There's nothing controversial about how he beat the shit out of you. Like he beat the shit out of you. There's no controversy there. But if we ride this wave that was created by a fan, okay, well, at least we have a marketing tool to try and sell a third fight. In reality, there is no controversy. There is no evidence. When are you going to come out with it? It's been months since this stupid little controversy started. You got Nicholas.
The media is not talking about it.
Yeah. That whole glove thing, I'm completely with you.
Why is it that every journalist why is it that every journalist that is an esteemed journalist, they're not talking about this? It's just guys on YouTube. I'm mad that I'm talking about it, because it's like, bro, there's nothing to this. This is stupid. This is stupid.
I agree.
Bro, I was falling asleep, man. When I was on mute, bro. This fucking fight is dead to me, for real.
Yeah, it's not a valid this thing. Listen, I personally feel that Wilder doesn't want the third fight, but the people who've controlled his career and control him essentially, he's got no choice but to go in there and get sparked again. My only thing that I really want to know is what were the terms of the rematch clause, and how far does the force majeure clause extend it? Because it had to be
to the purse this time around, isn't it?
No. It's not about the finances. I'm talking about the timing, because the rematch clause there's 2 things. There's a timing, like we got to have this rematch within X amount of time. Otherwise, you automatically forfeit the rematch. And then there's what's called a force majeure, like a force of nature clause, that if something in the force of nature clause basically extends your term on the term of the deal. So I'm trying to think like how long, and I don't see.
But to your point, Lennox, I understand the force majeure part of it, right? But I don't think Fury actually wants to go right into the Joshua fight anyway. So he wants to trounce Wilder one more time for that payday. That's the other end.
It's not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, it's not about that. I'm not bringing up anyone's motivation. I'm just bringing up how long do we get to sit in limbo, because it has to be contractually an amount of time that these lads either fight or the fight doesn't happen.
Lennox, how does the pandemic? Wouldn't something like a pandemic fall under that kind of a clause?
Yeah, but that extends it. Yeah, but that usually, but there's always a clause in the force of nature clause that gives it a time limit.
Right, but it would extend things because it's a unforeseen thing.
Probably 6 months.
Now, let me ask it this way: if Wilder pulled out of the Fury fight and fought Charles Martin instead on free TV, would you guys watch?
Probably. See, you're underestimating something here, Doc.
Yes.
You're underestimating my ability to go to sleep. But no, I know.
Charles Martin though.
When I saw that Davis was going to fight Hugo Ruiz, I went to sleep. When I saw he was going to fight Ricardo Munoz, once again, I went to sleep.
Yep.
If the card's running long, it's 11:35. Hey, I'm pushing 40, dog. I'm old.
Yeah. It's got to be at the right time. I get you. It's got to be at the right time of day.
Since we're on the subject of time,
assume it's in your time zone. It's going to be,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
it's
going to be 7 p.m. in your time. You going to watch that or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Since we're on the subject of time, can we discuss like how long that fucking Jose Ramirez and Postal fight was? That card was. I've only seen like 3 fights, and that thing was like it felt like it was 3 hours long.
That shit did run long. That shit.
They did too much. They did too much promo for that thing. I mean, come on, we already saw this already.
The problem with the undercard for that was it was all prospects, prospects all the time.
Yeah. But back to Wilder. He's got to go away. He's got to go away. He's got to go away so my guy Daniel Dubois can inherit the heavyweight division and Boxing Beats can hang his posters on the wall. Daniel Dubois, dangerous Daniel Dubois.
Oh, now you're going to be the one triggering Beats.
All right.
Nah,
did you just mute me?
Fam.
No.
Julius?
No, you're not muted.
I was muted a second ago. I spoke to you.
I'm muted. Bro, I didn't mute you. My hands aren't even on the keyboard.
Nah.
You know what?
Doc, what you're missing is that we already have a wager going.
You're a smart guy.
There's already money in escrow that says that Dubois is going to lose to Joe Joyce if that fight happens.
I'm working Dubois, yeah. And he ain't no well-beer, man.
He can beat Joe.
Yeah.
Nah, so listen, me and Beats are so confident that I put the money in escrow ahead of time. I put my money where my mouth is. Now it's just a matter of the fight happening so Julius can pay Beats.
I'm fine with that. Look, I'm fine with that because at least this is getting Frank Warren's card some attention. I don't think anybody's following this fight as hard as we are. If I'm being honest, and I hope it happens.
I'll say this much. I know I'm a fence sitter, but I've said all along if it goes past 4 or 5 rounds, I got Joyce. If it gets past that initial
I don't think that fight goes the distance. I don't think that fight goes the distance. I really don't.
Okay, would you agree though? If it does go the distance, that's got to be Joyce.
If we're edging it, and we're looking at the fight and we say, okay, well, the longer the fight wears on, the more it favors Joe, then I can concede to that. I just don't think it's going to last that long.
You know what? If Ishmael Salas gets over to London and trains, and if this fight gets pushed long enough that Ishmael Salas gets over to train Joe, I might up the wager.
I don't know. No, if I'm being honest, I like Salas. I do like Salas, and I do like Joe with Salas. So I don't sneeze at that could be a factor. But I'm just saying. You really can't. You really can't. Look, especially if Abel Sanchez was still in his corner, I'd up the wager on you. If Abel Sanchez was still in his corner.
Whoa! Who's got Abel? Who's got Abel?
He had Abel. He had him.
Okay, that changes.
Come on, Julius. I wouldn't put 50 quid up with Abel in his corner, even for fun. Even for fun. Man was not doing that.
I'm just saying, I don't sneeze at the role that Ismael Salas could have for him. I don't sneeze at that. So I get that much. It's just that to me, he's not a finished product because he's bounced from so many trainers in such a short professional career.
Daniel, nothing but a bully. Nothing but a brawler and a bully. Nothing but.
Beats is Joe a technician?
Doesn't need to. I'm guaranteeing you, when someone returns fire hard on Daniel's gonna crumble. I'm guaranteeing.
Daniel Dubois is the future of heavyweight boxing in the United Kingdom, and that's all there is to it.
All I want to say is this: Cecilia Breakus, you need to get rid of motherfucking Abel Sanchez.
Oh, fam, don't start. Don't start, fam,
If
man.
you're gonna
Don't
fight
start.
again, get rid of Abel.
Get Jonathan Banks back in your corner. That's all I got to say about that.
Yes, 100%.
I am so fam. I am so upset. I can't even. I gotta mute myself. Like, I can't even think about that shit, fam. Like, I was so I saw 2 of her fights with. Man, I can't even speak on it, fam. I'm just so I fucking hate this guy, fam.
Are you disgusted? Disgusted? Disgusted?
I'm appalled. Like, I took it personally, fam. Like, I took that like my mom got out there and got beat because of this lad.
I don't know what she went to, bro. Do you have any insights?
Yeah, why?
Why did she choose Abel? When they first got together, I thought, why did she go to Abel?
Allegedly, it was a business. It was some sort of trade-off because of the Golovkin situation.
Oh, because Golovkin. Oh, all right.
It was some sort of like Banks being a gentleman and being like, "Hey, here you go. Here goes a fighter, to sweeten or whatever the situation is."
Banks took Golovkin and gave Breakus to him. Is what you're saying?
What happened was he couldn't train both of them, and for the fight before this, Abel basically, because Banks was like, all right, well, Abel, you train her for this fight. And then from there on, she stayed or whatever it was, because he was basically with Golovkin full time. That's what I'm...
Here's the thing with Abel, to me, that I don't like. Abel is what I call, like in NFL football terms, a systems coach. You watch NFL, Julius?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you got systems coaches, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
but no, that's the perfect because that's how I view him, and I feel that's a role that he could actually excel in.
Right. And then you've got coaches, but the better coaches are the ones that are able to evaluate their talent, evaluate their strengths and weaknesses, and then they will set up their game plan, their system based around what they have. Whereas other guys, like, you'll have other guys that are system coaches. Oh, Jim Mora Jr. is I couldn't stand Jim Mora Jr. He's a system coach. He will try to shove a square peg into a round hole. That's Abel Sanchez.
I try
Mr. 28 to 3.
I'll say I measure my words when it comes to Abel because, hey, you know what? Garcia won 2 world titles with Abel, right? And Golovkin was able to do what he did with Abel. So I try to look at the good,
Yeah, that's his system. They fit his system.
But when I saw her go over there, seeing what kind of fighter she was, I'm like, what is she going for power? Like, I don't understand. Like, why would she go to this guy? The only thing I could think of is what Lennox said, and that video was posted. I'm like, you know what? They both deal with Tom Loeffler, more or less. This must have been like a wife swap or something like that. Because I'm like,
wife swap.
Wow.
Mexican stuff.
Say that again, Pete?
Mexican style, man.
Yeah, which is completely it's completely antithetical to Breakus' style if you've ever watched.
Yeah, she regressed. Like, she regressed. There's no way in hell Breakus under Banks was not beating this girl on a clean sweep. Youth, age, whatever you want to call it.
Lennox, I gotta say, I'm not saying she shot, but she was having a little trouble pulling the trigger.
Let's talk about that for a second. I want to say that Breakus under Banks, I don't think she would have lost that fight, so I agree with Lennox. I really don't think she would have lost that fight.
It was close anyways.
But her timing, her jab, it really did seem off. Like, why is she not catching her through the front door? Take a half step back, shoot the jab. You're not catching her at all. You look kind of scared to pull the trigger. Like, I don't know. Is your timing off? Is it that you can't catch it? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Julius, in my opinion, it's just plain old age. As you get older, it just gets harder to pull the trigger on like that.
You just had trouble with Jessica's center of gravity. That's what it was like.
I mean, look at how Katie. If you look at how Katie beat Jessica, right? Katie beat Jessica with her legs. That's how she beat her. You got to have your legs under you to beat Jessica. You got to be able to give yourself room to land clean punches and get the hell out of there. Because if you're still there, Jessica's gonna get you.
Beats is gonna get mad at me.
I thought Breakfast did better than
McCaskill.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Katie.
Beats, go back and watch that fight. There were moments where Katie was shaking and baking Jessica, but Cecilia just wasn't doing that, man. She was there for all of it. She couldn't get out of her way.
Jessica had Katie way more than what the other way around.
Nah, man. I can't agree with that. Can't agree with that. I remember that fight.
Now, Breakus and McCaskill, and Beats is going to get mad at me, gave me flashbacks to Ollie Spinks the first time.
Beats, how do you feel about that?
Close fight, but the younger, more energetic fighter against the older guy having a little bit of trouble pulling the trigger. You know?
Katie's becoming the female Canelo over the matchroom right now, man.
Hang on, Beats.
Let me address that. Can I address that? Look, man, this is what I'm going to say, right? Because I have to say this, right? I scored the fight. Wasn't a hard fight to score, if I'm being honest. I think that a lot of people give Delphine too much credit just for coming forward, not minding that she's getting hit. But more importantly, before we go turning Katie into a social pariah, Katie is bringing money and opportunity to every woman in the lightweight division. That is a simple fact. Hold on, I'm not done.
That don't mean shit. What?
Let me go.
She's bringing money and opportunity, and more importantly, attention and exposure to these divisions. She is. There's no two. If Katie wasn't there, we wouldn't be where we are right now. I'm telling you, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. Not just with what's there and not just with what's coming. Katie helped open that door. But if we're just gonna stick to the boxing of it, Delphine is getting credit for taking punches well, bro. That's what she's getting credit because you could take a punch because Katie can't hurt you. That don't mean she's not hitting you, bro. She's still hitting you.
Look, because she's bringing money to the game, don't mean she should get gifts. Yeah. That don't mean she should get
nah, Beats. It wasn't a gift. Nah, Beats. I gotta say,
a gift to me.
Persoon won that fight, bro.
No, Persoon did win that. Persoon did win that.
If you want to, Beats.
Now we're gonna really get into.
Let me have this conversation with Beats. Me and Beats seldom ever disagree on anything. Me and Beats disagreeing on stuff is made for TV stuff. Everybody be quiet, right? If you say that you give the first fight to Persoon, I won't argue with you because I've been saying that for a year. If you say that you had it for Persoon at the end of that fight, I could live with that. This one, nah. This one, Persoon didn't win this fight, man. No way. No fucking way.
Now here's what I think you're looking at. I know Persoon did a whole lot of swinging and beating the shit out of the air, but she landed plenty of punches as well.
I'm not saying she didn't land. I'm saying Katie landed more. And hold on. Remember the criteria for scoring a round. It's not just clean punching. It's defense. It's ring generalship. It's effective aggression. You're coming forward and hyperextending so deep on the inside that you end up in a clinch.
Okay.
The rough housing. Hold on. The rough housing in the clinch. That shit is not a scoring blow. Those are not scoring blows. You making Katie look human, but you ain't scoring with that shit.
You didn't see Katie's legs fade after round 3 or 4?
Not after 4, but not after 4. I'll say that. Not after 4. I think she took a round off in rounds. No. Matter of fact, it wasn't even that. Rounds 3 and 4, Delphine came on strong, which is characteristic of her because sometimes she's a little bit of a late starter. Sometimes. 3 and 4, I gave to Persoon.
The thing is, you're saying that she didn't land. She landed enough. Like, people are scoring against her because she's got an ugly style. Now, she doesn't want to punch correctly, but she still got her shots off, man. Like, Katie was caught in a typhoon too many times to say she won that fight, man.
Right, and you don't score. Hey, real quick, we got to remember, we don't score fights based on face damage.
No. It's not face damage. It's that, look, there's a reason that Delphine, I'm going to give you an example. Delphine and Maiva Hamadouche both went for the Olympic qualifiers. What has always been the difference between Delphine and Maiva? Maiva lands cleaner. You don't have to look for it. You can see it, right? Delphine, she's so rough and rugged that, yeah, she packs a decent-sized punch, but a lot of that other shit, that ain't scoring blows. A lot of that other shit, that's not nothing. That's why Maiva qualified for the Olympics and Delphine didn't. Delphine got beat by this little Greek girl.
I felt like that. Here, I'll give you a good analogy, Julius. I felt like, much like Paul Williams did to a lot of his opponents, I felt like Persoon drowned Katie in activity.
And I'll tell you that Delphine post-fight, what did she say? This day, Katie deserved the decision.
And I interpret that. I interpret that as she just knows she ain't gonna get the fucking decision.
Gotta get wordy. Yeah, but Persoon changed her mind. She watched again and she said she won. And her style might not work for the amateurs, so she qualifies in the Olympics, but it's a pro fight. Like, we allow for a bit more roughhousing in the pros. And Katie just can't handle that style. And I don't think she could handle Jessica McCaskill when she fought either. I believe that Katie's got a few gifts. You know what I mean? Like, when I say she's the Canelo, I'm just kidding, right? I'm just kidding.
You don't got to pull no punches on me, Beats.
No, but I think she's got a few gifts, though. I think she.
If I'm being honest, look, okay, the McCaskill fight, that definitely wasn't a gift. I'll say the Leonardo 2 fight was a closer fight than the McCaskill fight. I'll say that.
Ooh,
I'll say that.
You know how I'd phrase it? I would phrase it as this: benefit of the doubt.
I'll say that with Leonardo 2, the only way you could have scored that for Katie is on the wings of ring generalship and defense, because that's how she won that fight. She didn't win that fight with her hands; she won it with her legs.
No, here's another thing. The order of things, the order of the criteria, right? I've seen some people, you know, they've kind of rearranged it. All my years of boxing, going back to when I'm a little tiny kid in the 70s, the number one criteria, the way it worked was this: your number one criteria is clean, effective punches landed, right? If that all things being equal in that regard, then you move on. Who's the effective aggressor? Which is a whole separate conversation, because guys like Reg Gutteridge would tell you, right, that, hey, the guy leading off, even if he's moving backwards, if he's leading off, you understand me? He's still the aggressor. It's complicated, but that's a separate discussion. And then, if that's still all equal, then you move to ring generalship. If that's still all equal, then you move to defense.
Okay, now let me field this question. First off, before you tell me about Amanda's power, right? Because I've watched her many times over the years. What I want you to do, go and watch Amanda Serrano versus Yamila Esther Reynoso, and tell me how she knocked Katie Taylor out when she couldn't knock that girl out. Her power, I hate to tell you, is a myth. I'm sorry. I've watched her over. I'm not even gonna be presumptuous. Maybe you've seen a couple of fights of hers too, but I know I've seen a lot of her fights. Unless this is some girl like that, the Silva girl, ain't no knockout happening. She fought a 37-year-old Heather Hardy, and God bless Heather. You see Heather weathered the shots. Heather's tough as nails, because when she steps up in competition, what happens to her power is what happened to Wilder's power. That's what's going to happen. All right? Jamila walked through her shots, kept coming forward. Now, if you can't take out a come forward brawler who's standing right in front of you, I'm talking about Yamila. If you can't take a girl out who's standing right in front of you, opening up, and you're landing at will, but she's not going nowhere, you're not taking out Katie Taylor, who's got a good set of legs.
All right, but scoring criteria. What's your take on that? Because I'm coming from a quote unquote old school perspective, where it's
my scoring criteria.
Where did you get what I'm saying? Where it's a point of order, right? Where clean, effective punching is the first and foremost thing.
And if you're going, all right, if I'm going off your order, and if you're going to go off of clean, effective punching.
Well, hang on. Do you even agree? Maybe you disagree with the way I'm.
Let me, Doc. You got to lay off the sauce. You're talking over everybody, Doc.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Now, if we're going to talk about clean, effective punching, all right, if that is the hierarchy, that's the totem pole, that's the pecking order. What is paramount is clean punching. Katie Taylor started off this round started this fight damn near dropping Delphine.
She did.
That's how the fight started.
I agree.
Off a counter shot. Now, if I tack on all the other stuff that you score around, not just, well, is Delphine coming forward? Did she land a clean punch this round? There's more going on here than just that. She's shaking and baking you. And what you resort to is dirty tactics that don't win a round. Diving into a clinch and shaking her up and all that little bullshit, that shit is not a scoring blow. I'm sorry. That's not a scoring blow. If you hold on now, wait. If you come forward and you land a good power shot, but you took 3 of her power shots just to do that, you're not winning. Even if you're walking through it, you're not winning. Delphine is like the lightweight division's Alfredo Angulo.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I think people got caught up in the fact that Katie's power didn't quote unquote effectively hurt her, and Katie allowed herself to get tied up in a few too many exchanges. Because when Katie was just boxing on the outside, the rounds she won were very clean and evident. It's when she allowed it to get messy that you start getting confused. Like all those punches landing on gloves and on the forearms, those aren't this thing. When we talk about effective aggression, and I said this on Twitter, the emphasis is on effective aggression.
Yeah. Was Delphine Persoon's aggressiveness effective? The way I look at
I felt like in the middle rounds, I felt like Katie was really good. Rounds, I'll say 1, 2, maybe even 3. She was really good, and I'll give her credit. I felt she closed strong in the last 2 rounds, but I felt like the middle rounds. Were all pursued. All right?
Okay, now Virtuoso, go ahead.
Yeah, because like when I saw her pushing, Katie back, I mean, it was just on the sheer determination of trying to escape the pressure, not trying to like, or her punches had an effect. It did, but it's like there were few and far between like Katie was putting out together combination, whereas Delphine was looking for that one shot. That's the way I looked at it. Now Katie, she started out for rounds, quickly, but then it creates a dilemma when she started slowing down and she letting her get her shots off. That what made it so difficult to score the fights.
And I think what you're pointing out is a lot of Delphine's aggression came from wrestling.
Yes,
punching.
She did.
And
she
that's
did
what
throw her. She threw her down a couple times.
You haven't been watching it long enough to realize that what makes Delphine such a dangerous fighter is the pace, because she's a brawler, she's a mauler, but a lot of that shit ain't clean. Like if you hyperextend and then end up in a clinch, and Katie looks worse for wear as a result. Yeah, Katie looks worse for wear, but you're in a clinch. What the fuck? That's a scoring blow? Getting into a clinch in wrestling? That's a scoring blow? The same thing that works against Delphine when it comes to scoring a fight is the same thing that used to work against Sean Porter. You are smothering your work. It's not clean. It's rough and rugged. It's wearing on the other fighter, but it ain't clean. Now, if this other fighter is showing me clean, clear, and apparent punches, and she's boxing around you, not only does clean punching go to that fighter for the round, but defense goes to that fighter. What round do we give Delphine defense in? What round? When does Delphine?
Not a single one.
No. I felt like she landed more clean. Again, she missed a lot, but she still, to my eyes, in the middle rounds, and I'm gonna say like it was a 10-round fight. Yes? No? Somebody?
Yeah, 10-round fight.
It was a 10-round fight.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll say rounds 4 to 8. I felt like she landed more clean punches that were effective than Katie did. Katie was more efficient. All right. In other words, a higher percentage of the punches she threw were clean and effective. But Persoon was drowning her in activity.
Look.
And this is one last thing. This is the kind of fight where I didn't even know this existed until Mark brought it up the other day. It's called like Watch With Me or some shit like that. This is the kind of fight where we need to go back as a group, right, and watch it, and give our commentary and scores.
I'll score it again, but I know what I'm going to get because too much is being made of, I guess, the look of it. that it looks a certain way. But I'm watching this thing like, did Delphine land a clean punch in that exchange? Katie looks worse for wear. Maybe she's stumbling around, but are you getting off? Are you actually getting off? Because a lot of what you're doing is wrestling and pushing and getting too far on the inside. That's what you're doing.
She
And
did do a lot of that.
None of that is scoring blows.
I'm just gonna say, in my opinion, I would say rounds 4 to 8. I felt like, as much as she was missing, Persoon was still landing more clean, effective punches than Katie. Katie was more efficient. Katie was more efficient, but her legs. Ask Beats. Me and Beats were live with this. Beats. Don't you agree? Her legs looked like they were gone.
Yeah.
After about round 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And one last thing.
Doc, Doc. No, hold on, Doc.
I know. I'm just saying.
You gotta stop talking over these guys.
I know.
Beats hasn't said a word in 20 minutes.
She closed strong as a champion in the last 2 rounds, in my opinion. Go ahead, guys. I apologize.
Okay, I want to say this, then I'm going to pass it to Lennox, then Lennox is going to pass it to Beats. What I'm going to say is, I don't know. See, before we go worrying about how Katie Taylor looks against Delphine Persoon, right? Because you guys probably haven't seen very much. I don't know if you have or haven't, but I know that I have. Every fighter looks like that with Delphine. Everybody. Because nobody's got an engine like Delphine. But most fighters really ain't able to land clean shots and shake and bake and work around Delphine. See, everybody's focused on how Katie Taylor looked up until that point, but nobody's focused on how Delphine looked up until that point because they weren't watching Delphine up until that point. All right? That's why I know that I'm looking at this. I see you struggling, Delphine, because you usually get these shots off. These other girls you fight can't move like her. She's making you look funny because you're taking a lot of shots coming through that front door. You are. You can look great against those girls you were fighting in Belgium. Some of them were good, some of them were bad, whatever. But you look human too. It's just that they don't know that. They only know Katie. Oh, Katie looks human. You can't even tell that Delphine looks human because you haven't been watching her up until this point. Now,
I don't know if that is irrelevant because I ain't seen her previous fights and stuff. But
no, not that. It's just that I feel. Let me just elaborate on that. What I mean is that, when a fighter, they look great up until a certain point, and then they look human. So it amplifies what's going on, right? That's Katie. Katie looks human with pressure fighters. She looks human with them. Jessica's a pressure fighter. Christina's a pressure fighter. Delphine is a pressure fighter, more or less. Because Christina's not, I wouldn't call her a textbook pressure fighter, but she does like to come forward a lot. I don't see her do a lot of stuff on the back foot that often. Better still, Katie looked human. I'm not disagreeing with your Beats. I'm saying that I've seen Delphine too, though, and Delphine looked human in that fight. That's why it looks even to me, because she looked human in that fight too. You don't be getting lit up like that. You don't get hematomas and shit like that when I be seeing you fight. You looked unstoppable against Melissa Saintville. You punched her, and she flew 10 feet across the ring.
Yeah, well, maybe she bruises easy, but you don't win a fight by scoring a few punches. Katie's productivity just didn't match Persoon's, and people are saying she didn't land punches. I saw her land enough punches. They weren't, like I'm saying, they might not have been perfectly delivered, all of them, but the volume of them just won out. Like Katie started well early, but like Doc said, the legs didn't hold up throughout the duration, man. And I had her losing narrowly, but I had her losing.
I'll say, I heard it said that Katie might be on a slide, right? I don't dismiss that. But at the same time, I can't use this fight as a barometer for that because Delphine does this with everyone. When she's too much for everybody, damn near. You understand?
Like scary.
Yeah. Go
ahead, Lennox.
The point I was going to make is also Christina had done just blanked now. She had done a good job of controlling the narrative in your head because she came out and goes, "Oh, Katie's going to run around the ring and box. She's not going to trade with me." So she did that thing where the moment Katie decides to stand in front of her, because she's put this in your head, psychologically, you start seeing things that probably aren't happening.
Yeah, I agree with that because I think that affects the perception of it when you say this fighter won't give me because that's what you need, though. You need that. She doesn't need that. She can win this fight on the go. You can't. You need her to trade with you. But you
Right. Yeah. This is why I said this would be a great fight for a watch with me replay. You know what I mean? I completely see what you're trying to say. You make good points.
I invite anyone to watch Delphine versus Melissa St. Ville. And Delphine looked unstoppable in that fight, dog. She looked unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Dude, I'm 6 foot even, 200 pounds. I would not want to fight Delphine. You know what I mean? I took Shidoru for about 8 years as a little kid. You know what I mean? So I know how to defend my. I don't want no parts of Delphine Persoon. I don't want no parts.
All right, we're gonna let Tony in on this. Tony, what do you have to add to the conversation?
Nah, I'm just gonna agree with Beats and the other guy that I had Katie losing. It was a close fight, it was a tight fight, but she was just getting mauled in the clinch, and you have to count those because they are scoring blows. Even in the amateurs, when you learn how to box, as long as the white of the glove touches the midsection, the chest, or the face, is a scoring blow. Whether it's smothered or not, they count. When you judge a fight, he who lands, or in this case, she who lands the most punches wins the round. That's the first criteria. If the punches are close, you go by who landed the harder shots. If it's still close, who landed the cleaner of the harder shots, and then you go down from there. In my opinion, Persoon, round by round, was just outlanding her by too much because she was mauling her. It was just a mauling. It was like a. And
I'm gonna disagree. I think where we disagree, and we would have to watch the fight at the same time, because I agree Delphine was throwing more, but I succinctly don't agree that she was landing more.
But Julius, I'm telling you, this would be a great watch. I think it's called Watch With Me. I wish Mark was here to tell us, because he was talking to me about it the other day. It would be a great hangout to watch that fight again, all of us together, right? And we can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In real time, take it in and give our opinions on what we're seeing.
Because I look, that's Delphine, man. That's Delphine. She's gonna get in there, and when that bell rings, if she don't do shit else, she's gonna throw, and she's gonna continue to throw. But I've seen her enough. I've seen her enough that I can see, okay, what's Katie's boxing doing to Delphine's game plan? Because this isn't normally how this goes. I watch Katie too. Obviously, you're struggling. This pace is too much for you. This pace. She's getting to you, but you're getting up.
Would you say no to a third fight?
Honestly, with the amount of girls that's out there that want that fight, I would rather see her move on, because I want Chantel to get the fight. I would like to see either Jessica get the fight, or if she has the rematch with Cecilia, I would like to see the winner of that fight get the fight. There's too many other fights, and there's too many other girls out there.
I gotta say something, Julius. I gotta say, and I know I made this comment on one of your videos, and you replied to it or something. This is just my opinion. Persoon, for one, looks way bigger than Katie, right? And my recollection of when they showed the stat lines, Katie's 35, and I believe they listed Persoon at 38. Persoon's talking about moving down. She needs to go sit down. She needs to. Well,
I'll say this. This is the thing about Delphine. This is the thing about Delphine, right?
All right. You know where I'm going, so go ahead.
Yeah, but this is the thing about Delphine. Delphine seldom ever, if ever, because I don't remember her ever actually weighing 135. 130 is only 2 pounds less than what she normally weighs. She normally walks in about 132.
Really?
Yeah, she's really lean. She's really lean. She's always been really lean.
Because she looks big. She looks big, don't she? Doesn't she look bigger?
She's
bigger
tall.
than Katie?
She's tall. She's taller than a lot of those other girls, but she's really lean. She usually walks in there 132. So okay. 130, it could be a good weight for her. And I'm not going to say their names. There's some girls in there that she could beat their fucking ass. That pace is not good for a lot of girls, man.
Oh, okay. Now I got you. I'm with you, Julius. Now hang on. Real quick.
Oh
Now, again, I just want to finish my thought here, guys. Sorry. Here's the thing. It's not just the years. It's the mileage. If my recollection is right, when I saw the stat lines, Katie Taylor had like 15 fights. Delphine Pursuit's had like 45.
Yeah, but the reason that I wouldn't go with mileage on Delphine is because if you've been watching her, Delphine don't usually get hit. Like these girls, once she lands a clean shot, survival mode all day. They don't want to trade with her. But
okay. Go ahead.
Listen, Julius, I just wanted to agree with what you said about Taylor. I personally thought Persoon beat her both times, but it is what it is. In the history books, Taylor won. You don't want to keep fighting Persoon because it's one of two things. One, you're taking a lot of fucking damage fighting that girl, and that's shortening your career, especially when you're already 35 years old. So that's not the type of fight that you want to keep doing because you're taking years off your career from the wars. Two, you fight her too many fucking times, and then she lucks up like Marquez and knocks like Pacquiao got knocked out. So you don't want to keep repeatedly fighting people you get the decision on. So yeah, no, that's dumb.
She ain't getting up, Jim. She ain't getting up.
And I'll say that by Delphine going down to 130, right? I'd say she extends her career another 2 years, or maybe a year, maybe another. Let me say a year, and she could potentially get another payday. Perhaps they decide to make Jonas versus Persoon or Harper versus Persoon. She could get some money fighting in those fights. She breathes a little bit more life into her career going down to super featherweight. And I'm telling you, I'm fucking telling you, if I don't know shit, I know this division. I'm not going to say their names, but there's some girls in there that, yo, dog, as good as they are, not with this one, bro. You better stay the fuck away from her. She's the only girl I know that I'll give good, and I'm going to say this shit. The only girl in there that stands a chance against Delphine Persoon is Maiva Hamadouche. All these other girls, leave her alone. Leave her alone. Leave her the fuck alone. Leave her alone. She's too much.
You don't think at her age, and more importantly mileage, you don't think cutting down is problematic?
No, because she cut down very recently for Joseph. She fought Helen Joseph there. That's actually a better weight for her because she had to eat her way to lightweight. She had to eat her way to that division.
So the height is deceptive, is what's going on here.
Yeah, the height is real deceptive. I think if you want to know who stands a chance, and I got nothing against these girls, God bless all of them. There's only two girls at super featherweight that stand a chance against Delphine. Only two. You heard me mention one, and the other is Michaela Mayer. That's it. Beyond that, everybody else gotta stay the hell away from her.
Hey, you know what?
Julius.
Hey, real quick, shout out to women's boxing right now.
Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Yeah, I sent you a super chat. You know, my recent one I sent. I asked a question about Amanda Serrano. Do you think Bob gives her, a contract to fight on ESPN to fight Michaela?
No. And the reason he won't is because Michaela's too risky, and Bob Lennox could answer this better than me. Bob knows the numbers, man, and Bob is a numbers guy. There's all that bullshit. Eddie Hearn was being cool with you, dog. He was being cool giving you that much money. He was, because you ain't gonna bring that. You're not gonna bring. Look, Katie could fight Miriam Gutierrez, who nobody knows, who doesn't have a belt, from Spain, unbeaten fighter. The same audience is gonna tune in because they tuning in for her. They tuning in for Katie. Now, granted, the Amanda Serrano fight is a highly anticipated fight, but your price tag and what you want, bro, Bob ain't gonna give you that shit.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna give you that shit.
Julius, can I give my classic Bob Arum summary for everyone?
Go ahead.
Bob, here's what you need to keep in mind when you think about Bob Arum. All right, Bob Arum is the guy that came to the conclusion that he could make more money fucking people over in boxing than he could fucking people over in a court of law.
Yeah.
That is Bob Arum.
But it's not even. But with Amanda, it's not even fucking her over. It's just the reality of it, bro. Like, look,
no. I'm just trying to give people a general perspective of how Bob operates.
And my point really is that Eddie was already doing you a solid with the bread, because that bread is not around for everybody. Like, you can't go to Top Rank and get that bread. To Doc's point, you can't go to PBC and get that bread. You can't. This the only place you gonna get that bread. And you telling me this, that, and the other, dog, skate then. If you so good, go ahead, go get that breast somewhere else. Then go get it.
Yeah, the other promoters right now, they need to start shelling out some money for the women's boxing's where it's. I can't believe I'm saying this, Julius. Women's boxing's where it's at right now.
But it is where it's at. But at the same time, with the American part of the fighters, and this is what's getting lost in the sauce. The UK girls is putting on. They putting on. Katie putting on, fighting people that people think beat her, but she's still fighting them. Natasha and Terry put it all on the line against each other. Rachel Ball and Shannon ain't had to fight that girl. She really didn't have to fight that girl, but she took her on because she's there. They putting on. Now, I'm not saying that the American girls ain't putting on. I'm just saying that the UK scene is in a better place than the American scene. There's no reason that Premier Boxing champions shouldn't pick up Alicia Baumgartner, pick up Tiara Brown. Yes, pick up Clarissa, pick her up too, put her on Fox. But y'all not doing that. Now these girls is fighting on Sky Sports on pay-per-views and shit. They did give us Shields versus I want to make sure I get this right. The Costa Rican. I know it's one of the Ricans. It was a good fight. The Costa Rican was a good fight, but Shields is a champion in 3 weight classes, right?
What's her name? So since we're all learning here, what's her name?
Hannah Gabriels.
Hannah Gabriels. I thought that was a really good fight.
But Shields' purses, more or less, is still very novice, whereas Katie made $1 million, bro. She made $1 million.
Oh yeah, I get all that. I'm speaking completely selfishly as just a fan of, you know what I mean, what I'm seeing on my TV.
To put it as simple as possible, in order to get the American scene where the UK scene is at, it can't just be Bob. And right now, yeah, it's just Bob over here. Where's PBC's girls? Why PBC can't have some girls?
I thought Gabriel's and Shields.
They're not PBC fighters. They're with Salita Promotions. They're not with PBC.
Well, okay. What was it? What was that fight?
Maybe Oscar. I'm sorry. I hate to cut you off.
My perception was that fight was put forth as a PBC fight.
That wasn't a PBC fight. That wasn't a PBC fight. That was Dimitri Salita Promotions on Showtime. But that was not a PBC fight.
Okay. It was Showtime. It was a Showtime. My bad.
Well, I know. But better kick up that money to get Terrence Crawford that Brook fight, man. Because who's Terrence going to fight?
I agree 100%.
Oh,
I agree. He's got to cut the shit.
I hate that fight. I'm 100% against Bud fighting Kell Brook. 1,000% against.
Bro, look. Can I do this? Let me do this. Look, everybody, let me do this. I'd rather, if I'm going to keep it 100, right? The only reason I would want to see Keith Thurman versus Terrence Crawford is because I know in my heart and in my foot, Keith Thurman don't stand a broke dick dog's chance in that fight. You will fucking get put in the hospital. That's the only reason that I would want to see Keith Thurman fight Terrence Crawford. Wait, let me do this, Tone. I actually give Brook and his feet and his jab, which was troubling Errol Spence. I actually give him a better chance to make it competitive than Keith. I don't believe for a second Keith stands a chance in that fight.
Okay.
Julius, hang on. Let me feed Julius just a tiny bit. I feel like the footwork and the jab troubled my guy Golovkin. Even.
Yeah.
Julius, can I respond now uninterrupted?
Go ahead, Tom.
So here's the thing. There was a point in time when I said Kell Brook out my mouth was the best welterweight. There was a time when I called for him to fight Mayweather. That was the fight that I wanted to see. However, Kell Brook made the mistake to gain a whole shit ton of muscle, go up to fight Triple G. When he fought Triple G, he did great. He got his orbital bone broke into the fight. Okay, moving forward. He comes back down to fight Errol Spence. He outboxed Errol Spence. But what did Kell Brook lack when he fought Errol Spence? He lacked his normal speed. He lacked all his power. Why was that? Because when he got on the scale at 147, he looked like a refugee. He had gotten too big. He weight drained himself. Let me finish, please. He weight drained. After that loss, what did he do? He immediately ran to 154 where he's remained at 154. So my point is, Kell Brook is a great fight. at 154. But if you bring him to 147, he stands no chance.
Now I'm gonna say this, Tone. The reason that I'm not looking at it that way is because where's Brook right now? With who? I'll tell you.
Matchroom.
No, not the promoter, bro. He's with Dominic Engel, bro. He's with Dominic Engel. Dominic Engel is Klembo Stakes in the United Kingdom. He'll make the weight. He'll make the weight, bro. He'll make the weight. More importantly, I'm gonna say this too, Tone, to your point, right? I understand all of that. Like, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying is, I've been watching Brook. I really liked how he looked in the Mark DeLuca fight. He looked snappy. He looked sharp. He was switch hitting. Jab looked good. The movement looked good. He looks inspired. He looks like he wanted it. I really liked how he looked in the Mark DeLuca fight. I think because he's back at the Engel gym and because he's been chasing this fight for a year, that might be a low-key good fight, or at least a better fight than Thurman, because I have absolutely, positively no faith in Keith Thurman whatsoever. That dude ain't nothing but a mouthpiece right now, bro. If you
I 1,000% agree about Keith Thurman. I think what Keith Thurman had was lost due to double back-to-back injuries. When he came back, he looked like crap. Lopez.
Domesticated.
He fought Pacquiao. Pacquiao put him on his ass. That's the first person I can remember Pacquiao's planet in a long time. And Pacquiao outdid him. I agree. I don't think Thurman's anywhere near the elite anymore. However,
the only other fight, now, Tone, can I say this? The only other fight, let me just say this. The only other fight that I think is challenging and fun to watch besides Brook is Porter. That's it. That's it. Yeah. That's the only one. Now, Porter.
That's the fight I want to watch.
Come on, now hang on. Spence is an entertaining fight. I don't think that's
bro, that Spence fight. I don't even want to talk about that fight no more. Like that fucking fight, I don't want to waste time on that.
I get you.
I want to talk about fights that I'm gonna see.
Let me talk about a fight that happened. I just recently rewatched the Kell Brook Errol Spence fight, right? Like a few days ago. Here's what I took away from that. The biggest mistake Kell Brook made in the fight against Spence is he was trying to knock him out from the jump.
Yeah.
And he ended up gassing out, because that's what happens when you put all your energy into trying to knock a guy out, right? And he faded down the stretch. Spence took advantage. Fair play to Spence, right? Good performance by him. But that it was a tactical error on the part of Kell Brook, in my humble opinion.
Hey, Doc, you know what else causes you to tire really fast and not to be able to knock people out? Being weight drained. That's what he was. He looked weak from round 1 to, where'd he go, 5 or 6 rounds?
Hang on. He landed some good punches. He landed some great punches.
He was hitting him with great body movement, great counters. He was boxing excellent. But when those punches were landing, they did absolutely nothing to Spence. He had no muster. No.
Can I ask you this? Because you know the gravity of the situation just as much as me, right? The options that are on the table, right? In reality, because I think that it's almost like, what do they call that? Disingenuous to say that Keith Thurman is really on the table when Keith is not really on the table, bro. Neither is Sean. I don't look at those fights as actually being on the table, bro. I really don't.
No, I don't think they're on the table either, but this is what I want. This is all I'm saying. When and if Bud fights Kell Brook at 147, I just want some validation. When that happens, if Kell Brook looks like he is void of all power, then I want y'all to admit that he lost on the scale and not in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's conceivable. That's conceivable. But why you think I don't like spending a lot of time on the welterweight division? Because this is what I got to deal with. Like, bro, it's so much other shit that I don't even be thinking like, yo, you know what? I done talked about the Crawford Spence fight to death, and before that, I was talking about the Thurman Spence fight to death, and it's just the same shit. It's
disgusting.
Thing.
It's fucking disgusting, Julius. It's fucking disgusting.
Remember, Doc. Before this Crawford Spence shit got off the ground, we was waiting for Thurman Spence, and we didn't fucking get that.
Nope. And here's the thing. all of these motherfuckers are in their 30s, right?
Yep.
All in their 30s. Now, Beats will know this. If I'm incorrect or offline here, my off the top of my head, Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. The first time around, those guys, Hearns, I believe, was about 23, maybe 24. Sugar Ray Leonard was about 24, 25.
Yep.
Am I right, Beats?
Yeah. That's the age the fight should happen, of course.
Right. All of these motherfuckers are in their early to mid-30s. And this shit hasn't happened yet.
Well, that's why I don't want to look.
And that's why I'm saying I'm with you. Fuck the welterweight division.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
I don't look right now. Ivan Baranchyk is about to fight Cepada, right? Right?
Ooh, I like it. Ooh, I didn't even know that. Thank you, Julie. I did not even know that. I'm ready.
At 140, you got Baranchyk versus Cepada. We're not far away from the undisputed fight. We're not far away from that fight at all. We're gonna get to see that Taylor versus Ramirez. They're gonna work it out because it's Bob. Bob gave us the last undisputed champion. He literally gave us the last American undisputed. He gave us that. You see what I'm saying?
The World Bob organization.
Yeah, like they are gonna work it out. They will. They'll work it out. For talking about fucking Brook and Crawford, God bless him, because I want better for Crawford, but this is the situation. I'm tired of this shit. They want $80 for Garcia versus Spence. Hell no, I didn't pay for the last Garcia. I'm not gonna pay for this one.
The divisions that are doing it right.
Repeat that.
The
$80 for Spence versus Danny.
The divisions that are doing it right now are 140. They're all the stepchild divisions. 140, 154, and cruiserweight. Go ahead.
Tim Tszyu versus Jeff Horn had me more excited than the whole of the welterweight division had. I'm tired of it. Like, there's ain't no motherfucking. No, but real shit. Look, leading up to that fight, because hindsight is 20/20, but leading up to the fight, you didn't know if Tim was ready for a rough and rugged guy like Jeff. You didn't know. Like, yo, maybe this is too much too soon. I don't know. Tim hasn't really fought nobody. You didn't think Tim was going to go in there and smack this motherfucker around like that.
I predicted Tim to win. I predicted Tim.
Tim made it look easy. Tim made it look easy out there.
That's what I mean. That Beats. When you thought about the fight, did you think that, like, yo, Tim is really going to fuck him up? Like, fuck him up with the body shots, make him look bad? Did you think that?
No, I thought he was going to outbox him. I thought he did. I didn't think he was going to stop him or anything, but
those is the moments that I'm talking about. That, like, yo, Tim just gave me a moment that I didn't think about. The fucking heavyweight division don't disappoint. Thank you, Matchroom. I'm sad that Dillian got knocked out, but at the same time, what a goddamn fucking knockout that was.
Yeah.
Shit. I like, dog, like you hear it all the time. All it takes is one punch. And Alexander Povetkin, he reminded you, all it takes is one punch. It's moments happening in boxing and ain't shit. What I'm supposed to get hype for Danny and Spence?
Well, I would not pay $80 for it because I don't even know if Spence is truly Spence anymore. Like,
facts.
I mean, I would have to. I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know if he's even capable of taking punches to the head, and that's just not something I want to watch.
That's the other thing too. That the only way that fight has a wow moment is if Spence is so jacked up that Danny hit him with that no-look hook, that no-hitter quitter. But that would have to be because Spence was in a car accident and been on a layoff. It's like it's whack shit. That's what it's whack shit.
Julius, I'm torn. Julius, I gotta say I'm torn. I'm really torn when it comes to Danny Gift, who I cannot stand. I call him Danny Gift Garcia and Errol Spence, because on the one hand, I get what you're saying. I really do. But on the other hand, coming back off a car crash and not taking any kind of tune-up, and you're gonna just jump in with Danny Gift, I can't be too mad at that. I can't
Let me let Beats in on Beats.
Go ahead.
Danny is a tune-up. Danny is a tune-up.
Lennox, don't horn in on Beats. Beats, it's your turn. Beats, it's your turn.
If I was a gambler, I'd put some money on Danny because you can never tell with that accident there. They could be doing a lot of damage control, and Errol saying he's looking $1 million. and that he's back to his old self. Well, you can never tell. He'd be definitely worth betting against if you're a gambler.
What I'm gonna say, Beats, to your point, that goes back to what I said, that the only oh wow moment that could happen is if Spence is really so fucked up that Danny gets him. But that takes us away from Undisputed, doesn't it?
Well, what if Danny gets him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Danny will have both belts, so would be between him, Pacquiao, and Crew. They're never going to unify. Julius,
never.
Man. We're never going to get Undisputed.
Never.
No, anyway, not going to happen.
Thank you.
Right. But Danny is a very, very high level opponent to come back to fight coming off of a car crash.
Bro, I don't.
Not all agree.
Bro, I look at this as being very unique, right? Look, they want Spence to be a pay-per-view fighter, right? But you can't put him in there with Crawford. This dude might lose to Crawford. At the same time, he coming off a car accident. So what we'll do is we'll conjure our boy Danny, who hasn't beat nobody good at this way. Yeah, he's solid. I don't take that away from him. I do think he's solid, but he ain't beat nobody good here. That's why it's mildly intriguing, because he's solid.
But I'm saying, don't you give Errol a little bit of credit for fighting a guy? He could go fight a fucking complete bum, right? Coming off a car crash.
Why is he fighting on pay-per-view, Doc? Because he wants a certain amount of money. That's why.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, I'm. Come on, man. Again,
I'm just saying that, like, if I'm gonna look at the whole situation, look. If you wanted a tune-up, you could get a tune-up, like a tune-up, right? You could have one of those.
Yeah, like who's the Hispanic guy that he knocked out with the body shot in the first round? I can't remember his name. Ocampo. He could be fighting an Ocampo.
But what I'm saying is the only reason you really not fighting an Ocampo ain't because of the courage and all of the cute shit. It's because you want a certain amount of money. Bro, if you want that kind of money, you gotta fight on pay-per-view. And if you want to fight on pay-per-view, then it gotta be against Danny.
Okay, I get that. But again, coming off a car crash, Danny's a pretty, that's a risk a lot of guys wouldn't take. Wouldn't you agree?
Crawford wanted it. Danny didn't.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Crawford wanted it. I'm gonna tell you like this.
But again, I'm saying, the car crash.
Stop talking over me. Stop talking over me.
Go ahead.
Don't you think Ugas wants that fight?
Yeah, true.
Don't you think Igis Kavaliauskas would like to have a fight with a big name like Danny Garcia?
Sure, absolutely.
What I'm getting at is, Danny is not a boogeyman, and we're rewarding mediocrity in the welterweight division, because where we supposed to be, look at Spence, he about to fight Danny. Bro, I just watched Usyk clean out a weight class. He cleaned out a weight class, bro.
Yeah, the car crash is the whole thing. The car crash, I agree.
But that's what I've been telling you. That's what I've been telling you, that, the selling point is not the fight. It's the car crash.
In fairness, he looked pretty good against Granadas, though, Danny. He did.
You know what? He completely did exceed, but he exceeded. But then against Baranchek, he looked terrible.
That's Red Catch.
With Red Catch, he looked brutal. He looked doodle. But what I'm saying is, look at Teofimo, right? Representing Brooklyn, taking on this fight. He only 15-0, 23 years old. He ain't had the belt but 10 seconds. What he about to do? He about to take on Basil motherfucking Chenko. That's who he fighting. That's the shit that make me go, wow, man, this a bad dude, man. Win or lose, this a bad dude. Bro, Errol, you fucking got drunk, crashed the car, and now you're fighting Danny.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Bottom line, Danny, come on.
Danny's feet are too slow. Danny's feet are too slow and he's easy to read. So that's why they picked him, really. And he's a good name, isn't he? He's got a good set of whiskers.
Yeah. I'm not telling you it's a bad fight, Doc. To your analogy, your previous analogy, that, if it was on free TV, hell yeah, I'll watch it. It's good enough for that.
Yeah. Well, coming off the car crash is my main thing. The first guy you're going to jump in with is a Danny Garcia coming off the car crash. I ain't mad at that.
Don't charge $8 for it on pay-per-view.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Okay. I come on. I like to think that I've been very clear about American pay-per-view prices and how I am not fucking paying that shit, and about fucking
But
free
remember,
market economies
if
in
I
our
want
role.
to see it,
Go.
if I want to see it, I might have to pay, or I might go to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep, wake up, yo, Danny knocked out Spence. What?
Because streaming would be very wrong, and no one here would do that. I get you.
Wink, wink.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not dealers, and I don't know if y'all gonna believe me. But throughout the pandemic, when the zone didn't have no content, right, that they wasn't showing nothing, bro, that's when I went annual. Like, yo, they need the money. I'm gonna send them the money. That's me, yo. That's how I am.
Yeah, dude, I paid the $100. I paid my $100. I paid my $100. I'm with you.
So,
But
I don't want to
feel.
Go ahead.
No, even if the fight was free on TV, I don't want to watch it because I do not know where Spence. No, hold on. I do not know where Spence is. He hasn't been sparring for a very long time. And the thing is, even though I have been very Spence, I don't want to see the man go in there and get fucked up. And that's what he's opening himself up to. And I don't want to watch it. I do not want to watch it.
What would you take for Spence right now? Idealize the scenario.
I would take a fucking tomato can. I would take a guy with a 4-win and 500 loss record and put it in there.
Boo! Boo!
Let me get boo. Not about the fans. It's about the fans' health.
Hold on. You're willing to risk some hapless journeyman with a 400 loss record to get his head bust, but it's all right for Spence to get the Rolls Royce treatment? I don't get that.
Goes like
I like it.
Guy like Danny. Hold on. You fight a guy like Danny who is very skilled. Now, has he looked his best recently? No, but you still have a guy that's in there very dangerous and he has decent power. If you put him in there with a journeyman with no power, then the likelihoods of him getting blasted or blitzed are very slim. He can get in there, he can take a real punch in a real fight, even though the guy's not skilled, and then you can determine from there if his health is at risk or not. My thing is, nobody's going to know where not even him is going to know where his health is until he gets hit in the fucking face the night of the fight. That's when he's going to find out if he's okay. The minute he gets hit in the head, and I don't want to watch it.
That's why I'm saying I have to push back a little bit about, the quality of Spence fighting Garcia. I think that's a pretty, I'll say an impressive step coming your first fight after the car wreck. You're gonna fight Garcia. Okay. Let's see what you got then. I
call whether Spence wins or lose, I call it stupid. I think it's a stupid fight. See, I said earlier, if you want to say that I over compartmentalize things, fair enough. That's what I'm doing here. I'm compartmentalizing. If I am a manager of Spence, I'm gonna have a completely different perspective.
We're not here because of victim Spence and the unfair circumstances. We're here because that man wants a certain amount of money, and the only way you gonna get it is by being on pay-per-view. That's why we're here, bro.
Honestly,
I get it. But
let me talk.
I'm just thinking, you can't play the victim this thing. Like, my stance on any athlete that I don't do the whole family. You took them drinks yourself.
Yep.
Drove the Ferrari. Just like Tyson Fury did the cocaine himself and did whatever he did. Like, I can't, have a pity party for you. If you come back and you want X, Y, Z, you gotta do what it takes to get that. So, I mean, he wants X amounts of dollars. I can't feel bad for, man did this. He was just in an accident. Yo, fam, if you need X amount of dollars, and unfortunately you're on a promoter that can't pay you X amount of dollars without pay-per-view, then you gotta go in and take a risk.
Okay.
Maybe you go in, right, and you get irreparably damaged by Garcia. That is a value. That's a risk. But you want to get paid. This is what you gotta do, because you gotta understand the fact that he was in this accident. Yeah, he might get checked out. A lot of things might get checked out. He might pass an MRI and all that. But there's a lot of neurological damage that gets missed and could get easily triggered by him getting punched in the face. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between between going in there and having it out with 16-ounce gloves or 20-ounce gloves in headgear and having it out with 10-ounce gloves with no protection on.
Let me tell you something.
Hold on, Julius. I know it's your show, but I just want to say I'm not trying to throw a pity part. I feel bad. It's his choice. He made the decision. He wants the money. He's doing something stupid. I just said I don't want to watch it because I don't want to see it. Like it's a dumb thing. By all means, if he gets fucked up, it's his own fault that it happened. That's his decision, not mine. So that's all I would say. I'm not saying
okay. Can I ask a question?
Real quick, guys. And real quick, I'm just saying I feel like it's a pretty brave decision.
And I'm saying no. Look. First off, let me. All right. First, you a drunk driver. I already don't like that. 9 times out of 10, when I'm in the car, I'm with my kids, so I really don't feel sorry for you. You understand?
I don't drive drunk.
No, hold on. No, not Doc. I'm talking about Errol. This is what I'm saying. I already don't feel bad about your car accident. Why? You a danger to motorists like me, so I don't really feel bad. You did some dumb shit. That's the first thing. The second thing is PBC has a good relationship with a guy based out of Germany called Errol Ceylon, right? This is probably why Manuel Chaw is going to end up on that side of the street, because Manuel Chaw just signed a deal with Errol Ceylon. He got all these fighters over there that you ain't never heard of that you could feed to Errol in a tune-up fight. Errol don't want a tune-up. Well, put it this way. He don't want a tune-up. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's true. Danny has some intrigue, but it's because of your car accident. You the one that's running them risks, bro. But I'm not going to pat you on the back because you greedy for money, because that's what's motivating you. You greedy for money. You trying to get a payday like the one you got for Sean and the one you got for Mikey. So, all right, I'm going to fight Danny. Hey, that's on you, bro. If you go in there and you get your head knocked off, that's on you, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Can I just say a couple things?
Hold on. One sec. After he ducked Crawford, I ain't doing no damage control to trying to make it. Oh, he's brave for fighting Danny. Nah, man.
I agree. If you was brave, if you wanted Julius, not that he did, because he don't give a fuck about Julius. I understand. I'm just saying that if it was going to be something that made me say he was brave, forget the car accident, forget the Mikey Garcia, you fight Terrence Crawford, and you could have been did that. You didn't do that. I ain't going to sit here and call you brave for fighting the guy that's Sean and Keith beat. What's brave? You just want money. Ain't no.
And Lamont
I kind of get. Go ahead, Beats.
And Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson beat him as well.
Go ahead, Beats. Y'all was all talking at the same time. Say it one more time for me.
And he lost to Lamont Peterson, but he just did. Lamont just didn't get the decision at welter.
And Mauricio Herrera.
Yeah, and Herrera at light welter. Yeah.
They're not putting. Okay. All right, now go ahead, Virtuoso.
Okay, let me say this about Danny. I don't consider him to be an elite welterweight. He's already lost to Keith, lost to Sean Porter, and I feel that he's a level below Spence. All right. Now, if he beats Errol Spence, does he get credit for that win?
Yeah.
No.
Nah, no. See, this is where I gotta ring IQ to shit. This is where I gotta ring IQ to shit. You beat fucking Spence, you get the credit. That don't mean I don't know what to do. In other words, go in there, right? Let me lay this out for you. This won't happen, by the way. This won't happen this way. Go in there, beat Spence, right? You knock him the fuck out, right? And then go to Crawford. I have Crawford stopping you. That doesn't change. Crawford will stop Danny Garcia if Danny ever finds his balls and gets in that ring with him. I guarantee it like the Men's Warehouse. Crawford stops that guy.
No, it's gonna go
100%.
If 100%, they're gonna have rematch clauses out the ass, bro.
Of course. Oh man.
Of course.
Back what Julius said. Julius said yes. He gets all the credit in the world for beating Spence. However, Crawford's gonna knock him the fuck out. Why do you think that? Because you know what the car wreck, you know what happened. So therefore, deep down inside, you're really not giving him credit for this win.
No. He said.
Nah.
Look.
Listen,
Tone, let me address Tone shit. Look.
Let me finish.
All right.
Julius, you know deep down in your soul, your heart, that even if Danny wins, there's no way in fuck he would have beat him without the car wreck.
bro. All right, now Tone. This is what I'm gonna say. This is how I give Danny credit, right? You know, Leo Santa Cruz is on my pound for pound list, right?
What?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I know.
Now, let me explain. Leo is a 3-division champion. I believe he's a 3-division. No, he's a 4-division champion. 4. And he beat at least 2 world champions. 3, I believe. 2 that I can name off the top of my head. These are the facts. Do I want this man there? No, I get pissed off seeing him there. I want to see R2 better be with somebody in there. Or MJ Akhmadali with somebody. I want to see one of them. But he's there. So what would I do for Danny? What are the facts? What are the facts? He was a unified in-ring magazine champion in the 140-pound division. He collected some very good scalps there. And if he beats Errol, regardless of my anecdotes, regardless of that, I got to put him on as a unified welterweight champion. I have to do it. Okay. No bones about it. That don't mean that I'm fooled. That doesn't mean that I'm fooled. Like, bro, you could be on there. You could be on there, Danny. If you ever fucking dare to set foot in that fucking ring with that guy from Omaha, that dude is going to put you in the hospital, and you fucking know it. That's why you talking about you only in the welterweight division for 2 more fights, because you know what time it is, bro. That dude will put you in the hospital.
The WBO made it mandatory.
Whoa. Danny Garcia is that was some serious shit. He's really talking about 154.
Yep.
All right, guys, everybody on the panel, right now, Danny Garcia versus Erislandy Lara, as old as he is. Who you got?
I got Lara.
Ring
Go ahead, Julius. Julius. I want to hear Julius say it.
Julius is in control. Let Julius go for me.
I'm going to go with my guy, my fucking Cuban brother. Erislandy Lara.
You know I got Lara. Who's next?
Got fucking Lara, man.
Lara.
Who's
Danny,
next?
Danny's power is kind of average at 147 already. If he moves up, no.
I'm gonna tell you, Lara will knock him out. He will hit him so many fucking times.
Beats, who you got? Lara versus Danny Garcia right now.
It's the 50-50. Lara ain't got no legs no more, man. So, you know.
Beats is demurring. I like it.
He's either got no legs or he's trying to fight flat-footed right now. So that gives Danny a lot of opportunities, man. Danny might take his head off with a left hook.
Yeah, but Danny, you know what the shit about Dan? 1, Lara's a southpaw, so that's already gonna throw Danny off a little something. 2, Lara don't gotta be that close to this guy. Like, he don't gotta really be within range of the left hook to touch him, because Lara's got good reach. He could jab him from the outside, even if he ain't got his legs like he used to. He could still touch him from the outside safely. I go Lara, man.
Lara's got a big reach advantage, don't he? Got a big reach advantage, don't he?
Oh, but Danny, hell yeah. Danny got 3-year-old arms.
I'd rather see Danny versus Brooke at 154.
No, I know. We're trying to frame the idea of Danny Gift at 154.
Danny got them premium lightweight arms.
He gifted a left hand in the face.
Yeah, I don't even know what Cleveland Shields' his nickname is T-Rex. It should be Daddy's nickname.
Legit.
You know?
Legit. Like, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all ain't gonna like it. Tim Tszyu will beat Danny at 154.
Yep. Watch that ass.
Ring. Julius. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I like that fight. Go ahead.
He will wax his motherfucking ass.
Really?
Yo, bro. Brian, look. Brian Castano will beat the shit out of Danny at 150. Not Danny. 154 is not going to be kind to you. You better.
I got one for you, Julius. Danny Garcia against Jared Hurd.
Bro, could you imagine?
Hey,
I'm trying not to. I'm gonna mute myself.
Hold on, Doc. I'm about to go.
Danny
My phone.
Harrison, Tony Harrison.
Bruh.
Oh, Tony Harrison's gonna
He might not have left off with it.
Tony Harrison will slap Danny Garcia around like,
you know how you play with your peas after your food is done? Like when you playing with the peas on your plate with the fork. That's what Tony will do to Danny, bro. Like
that's gonna be a fun build up to the fight. The press conferences with Angel Dust. Oh man, that's gonna be entertaining as fuck.
Bro, like Danny, look, Danny better fight Dennis Hogan, and I'm not even sure if he can handle Dennis Hogan.
Oh.
Bro, you seen what Hogan did to Munguia? Like I don't know if Danny could bottle that guy up and control him. I really
Garcia
don't know.
versus Hurd.
He's a natural 140 man. He's to me. That's how I look at him.
I want Hurd versus Danny Gift.
Wow.
I want to ask Beats this shit. This is a serious question. Danny Garcia, Jack Coquet, 154. What do you think?
That'd be a tough one, man. Especially if it was in Germany, man. I mean, Danny might lose a decision, man.
This is what I'm like it's got. I can't think of nobody wholeheartedly at 154. I'm like, yeah, Danny will beat. Bro, I don't know if you could beat Patrick Teixeira.
Oh wait. What's your Dominican cat? This guy that won the title off J-Rock. What's his name?
Jason Rosario. Bro, he's not beating that big strong kid.
I think Rosario knocks him the fuck out. I think.
To be honest, Josh Taylor could move up to 147 and fuck around, beat Danny Garcia.
Bro, look.
Well, we're talking 154, but yeah.
No. If we're gonna no. We can't look at that like that. Josh steps way into the pocket and gets in line for the hook. Nah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I said he could. He will.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna give. I can't believe I'm fucking gonna defend Danny Gift Garcia, right? Danny. There's one thing Danny does that I really like, and it's an old school. Beats is gonna know about this, and you guys might too. It's an old school Philly trick. When he has his head down and it looks like he's throwing blind punches, he's watching your feet. He's watching where your feet go. Joe Frazier, Jimmy Young, all these guys used to do this. They get in your chest and they watch your feet, and they will throw their punches, right, based on what you do with your feet. You understand me?
Yeah, and if Josh gets in his wit, like you saw the Pro-Grade fight, you saw the Baranchik fight, like you saw the Ryan Martin fight, the Postal fight.
Yeah. The Postal people. I agree with you that people are making false equivalencies between how Postal did against Ramirez and how Josh Taylor will do.
But way off base with that. I've heard so many people say that Josh Taylor would beat him on the
because Josh.
They don't get it at all. And especially Andre Ward was saying, like, you don't know what he's talking about. They think because you fight in the pocket that you have it inside. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. And well, also.
You don't have an inside game.
Yeah.
You get knocked off.
Beats, what they're looking at.
Didn't he say, Beats, didn't he say that Josh Taylor can't fight on the inside?
I don't know about that, but what people are looking at is they're looking at, okay, Josh Taylor has similar dimensions to Postal. Josh Taylor can. I got to emphasize my words here. Josh Taylor can box, right? The difference is Josh Taylor will get drawn into banging it out.
Bro,
in a way that
I'm
Postal won't.
I'm gonna say this. You ain't gotta draw Josh into a tear up.
He wants to tear up, yes.
Wants to tear up. Like, bro, he could have boxed Pro-Grade on the outside comfortably. He got the legs and the length to do it. He chose to bang in the booth. So if you talking about some Danny Garcia, I love Josh Taylor, by the way, but he's gonna be in line for that look. He's gonna be in line for that left hook. He's gonna be close enough.
I'm talking Ramirez. I'm talking Ramirez, but
Can I get a second? Can I get in for a second?
Go ahead, let me.
Yeah, what I'm saying, what a lot of people are missing is that it's not easy to be that disciplined and box the way Postal did when you got all that Russian and firepower coming into you. It takes a lot of discipline, high level of conditioning, and a high level of skill, particularly discipline. You know what I mean? Josh Taylor's got a thing that is, he's Scottish, so he's got this thing where he's going to get drawn in. If you think it's easy to just box, you know what I mean? Maurice Hooker could have just boxed him. You get me? So it's not that easy to execute that. That expectation, I'm not going to say that Postal won, but you got to give him points for his ability to execute that for 12 rounds. That is no easy feat.
Well, bro,
you know what I mean?
Remember who you talking to. Remember. I think Postal's a great fucking fighter. I give Terrence Crawford for handling. I give him super duper credit now because it's like, damn, Josh fought him, didn't look good. Jose fought him, didn't look good. The only guy that looked good against Victor is Crawford. That's
Danny
it.
Garcia paid him to step aside.
No, here's what I'm telling you though, right? If Josh fights Ramirez, he's either going to get hurt or his face is going to be lumped up after.
I agree with you.
I
That's
agree.
a phone booth fight, Beats. That's a phone booth fight.
Yeah.
It's got to be some Carmen Basilio shit, isn't it, Beats?
Yep. And he really needs to, like. Then again, Ben Davison, you know, he was very safety first with Tyson Fury. He might be able to.
You know what? That's a factor that I was considering, and I think I brought it up on Twitter. I said that Davison is a defense or safety first trainer. I've never really, just the way Freddie Roach is all guns blazing, right? Freddie doesn't ever do. I've never seen Freddie tell a man to roll after a hook or slip after a right hand. Yeah, Freddie's just in it. The best thing Freddie does defensively is tell you to get in and out. Right? I've never seen.
Freddie wants knockouts.
I've never seen. Ben Davison and I worked the first Fury fight, so I was actually in the corner, listening to his corner advice. Yeah, he's all about stick and move, score the points, don't stand there, don't give him a chance. So I've not. I mean, even he's got the other little the other lower weight fighter who's like the sort of like was he a featherweight? I think he's like 112 pounds. Yeah, he's sort of like the budget version of He's another gypsy chap, but he's like the budget version of Chip. He trains all his fighters in the same sort of Isaac Lowe. I think his name's Isaac Lowe. Yeah, they all got the same sort of get in, get out defense first. Now, if Josh Taylor can execute that, if that's what Ben Davison's bringing to the table, and he can execute that, and granted, it's not easy to execute that for 12 rounds. Like, you need a high level of Davison. And the problem is I see Josh getting hit with something once and reverting the whole old habits.
That's what I see.
And Davidson's not going to know what to do. Davidson's not going to know what to do in terms of corner advice.
A dude like Jose coming forward to where, I don't even got to box around him. He coming to me. Josh going to bite. He going to bite. He going to get into a tear-up. He not going to box around him. He going to bite. He going to get into an exchange, and it's going to come down to firepower. I feel Josh. Hold on. I feel Josh has a bigger punch than Jose, but I feel like Jose takes a better punch than Josh. So he might outright.
And the sad part is Josh is a southpaw, so he could jab and turn this kid all night. He could literally jab, straight right hand, turn him, jab, straight right hand, hook off, turn him all night. But he's not, because as soon as he gets clipped, he's gonna put his guard up, get in there, and try to get to the body.
Here's the thing: Josh has got to let go his ego for this fight. It's one of them fights where if he gets hit, right, you can't let that red miss, and you want to steam back in. You're gonna have to learn to tie up effectively, get back on your boxing, right, and tie up. Hit do what you got to do. You do what you got to do,
Bro, Josh, the weirdest thing about Josh in this fight, right? It's the weirdest fucking thing. He has everything he needs to win this fight. He literally does. He has the legs, he has the pop, the shortness in his punches, he's got the in and out, he's a southpaw. You got it all. All you got to do is don't fucking trade with him. But Josh, I thought Josh was going to box from the outside with Regis. He ain't want to do that. I thought he was going to box from the outside with Ivan. He ain't want to do that. I'm like, yo, dog, what the fuck? Like, you making this so difficult, bro. Use your legs.
And what you got to factor in.
Ben Davidson. Sorry, go ahead, Lennox.
No, I said what you got to factor in is the cumulative effect of these fights. Man's gone there and gone through 2 wars that he didn't have to go through. Like, listen, fam, it's a cumulative effect of these things that, that people don't factor in. He's gone through 2 hard fights that he made hard for himself when he could have made it easy. So he's got more wear and tear. Honestly, Jose hasn't been through too many hard fights recently.
Did you see Taylor's eyes after the Postal fight?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. You know what? Ben Davidson, me, Beats, and a whole lot of other people gave Ben Davidson shit in the first Fury Wilder fight for the way I put it was he coached Fury not to lose. He was playing the game not to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But in this particular instance, the way you guys are framing it, that might be perfect. It might be the perfect style to offset Ramirez. Because one of the things, and one of the things you mentioned was the clinch. One of the things that was driving me nuts with Ramirez, the whole time I was scoring that fight on Works Hangout, right, was the fact that Ramirez was capitulating in the clinch. Every time Postol tied him up, he didn't try to throw. He didn't even try to fight his way out. He didn't try to pull his hands free. He waited for the ref. If Josh Taylor sticks to a Ben Davidson game plan, he could well just outbox the shit out of
jab
Ramirez.
and grab is the name of the game. Jab and grab.
The Postal blueprint.
Jab, grab, and turn him. Jab, grab, turn him.
Julius, do you agree that Ramirez was over? He capitulated too much to the clinches when he could have, been trying to work his way out.
Well, yeah, but he was thrown off. He was thrown off by Postol's movement and his jab. The jab was what was really fucking him up. That's why he's capitulating. Mentally, he's fucking frustrated. Very fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
But you got to be,
the reason.
Guy. Go ahead.
Josh needs to frustrate Ramirez. He needs to frustrate him in there. He can't be there just bang, bang, bang.
So here's the reason why Postol was frustrating him, and that's what Josh has got to do. Because every time he clipped Ramirez wouldn't succumb to get into an exchange. He would either pivot out, grab him, wait for the ref to break it, and reset. So he's used to people engaging him like, all right, I clipped him, they're going to try and get it back. Postol did not do that. Postol was like, all right, nice shot. I'm just going to grab you, or I'm going to step off and turn.
Professional.
That was frustrating.
Right. And Ramirez did not work in the clinch, dude. He sat there and waited. He capitulated. He made, like Teddy Atlas's silent agreements. He was making silent agreements with fucking Postol. All right, you're grabbing me up. I'm not going to throw my hands. And it was driving me nuts the entire time.
I could see a scenario where Josh maybe surprises me. Maybe. I don't know. I got to see how he looks with Kun Song. I'm like, that's the only reason I'm interested in that fight. It's my first look at Josh since the Prograis fight, and it's my first look at him with Ben Davison, and I just want to see what he does. But I could see him winning the fight on his feet. I could see that. He could win the fight on his feet. Just stay on your feet, man. Stay on your jab. Stay on your feet. Don't get into exchanges, because that's all he needs to get in this fight. He don't have legs like you do. He don't know how to cut off the ring. But if you sit there and trade with this fucking guy, you're giving him the fight.
Right. And for Ramirez's part, he's got to work in the clinch. You can't just wait for the ref, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, he's got to fucking, you know what I mean? You can't wait for the ref to settle that. You pull your hands out. Like, you know what I mean? You let your hands go. You do whatever you got to do in the clinch. You don't just wait for the ref when you're the physical guy, the younger guy. I don't know. That just drove me nuts. And big up to the chat. We got a women's boxing channel.
I know women's boxing. I know them. They from Twitter.
Oh, okay. I didn't even. This is where the sport's going. You get me? I'm more interested. I can't believe I'm saying I'm going to be 52 in October. All right. I'm more interested in women's boxing than men's boxing right now.
I've been saying my sales pitch has been for the longest time, bro. They gave us Easter Bartholomew, Lara Gaucher, Davis versus 3 body bags, 3 or 4 body bags.
Yeah, time out, Julius. You're hurting my feelings because I thought I liked me some Bartholomew. I liked me some Easter. I really thought that fight had potential.
Bro, that fucking fight.
Oh my god, it was horrible.
That fucking fight was awful, dog. And all I'm saying is, a good fight is a good fight. That's all I'm saying. A good fight is a good fight. It don't matter if it's 2 girls or 2 guys. A good fight And I've seen some really, 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 really good fights.
That hurts my feelings, though. That hurts my feelings because I like what? Oh God, what's the little Russian guy's name? He fought both of them.
You talking about Baranchik?
Shafikov. No, Shafikov.
Shafikov.
The Shafikov against Eastern Shafikov against Bartholomew. Great fights. I loved both those fights. But
Shafikov got robbed, man. Shafikov got robbed. And at least in the Easter fight, man.
Okay, you know what? Here's my thing. Yeah. The scorecard. Hang on. The scorecards. I felt like the Easter Shafikov fight could have gone either way, but the scorecards were
too wide, man.
Oh, they were absolutely they were obscene.
Too wide. It was too wide. Like Shafikov would have had to hit that guy with a baseball bat to win it.
They were obscene scorecards. But the Shafikov Bartholomew, that's a classic. I love that fight.
Abe Sanchez is what Shafikov isn't.
All I'm gonna say before I close this live out is Taylor versus Kun Song is a very good.
That'll be about 100 right there. It's that.
I have no idea where's that coming from. Taylor Kun Song, very good fight, very important fight to watch because Kun Song is a puncher. He's a puncher. Yeah, so I'm gonna see how he deal with this puncher, and that's gonna tell me what I get, or at least give me a little insight into what I'm finna get. Because if I see any differences in Josh, I'm gonna know that's Ben. If I see the same Josh, I don't know, man. Like you can't go in there with Jose doing that shit, man. Don't do it. He gonna lump you the fuck up. He wanted to be a battle of attrition. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. I'm gonna close this out.
Take care, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it as always, Julius. Thank you for putting up with my defense of the likes of Wilder.
My light sauce McDuck.
Hey,